Yep, that's working. So hello, good evening, I'm Wes, the Explosion, and we're doing this at least one more time. At least one more time. I wanted to do hard mode. Is that so wrong? Am I showing off? Maybe. Honestly, I don't think it's too bad even on hard mode, so... I feel like calling this showing off would be giving me too much credit. Should I be skipping the cutscenes? I did this only a month ago. I don't know, maybe. But I don't think it adds too much to the player, the runtime, so we'll go with it. 21XX. Robots with the ability to think and act themselves have been created. They are dubbed Reploids. How's it going, buddy? Oh, hey, I'm just digging in Rebel. The age of humankind and robotics working and living together had begun. God, he should have checked his brakes. As robot society spread and prospered, there was an increase in criminal incidents involving Reploids. Blood or urine. To combat this new wave of crime, a special investigation and security organization consisting entirely of Reploids was founded. They are the Maverick Hunters. I think that's what it said. It did swap right before I could read that last bit. Oh, man. That sucks. Oh, man. I'm so mad, I'm gonna beat up an entire highway. This is the story of the Maverick Hunter, known as X. Okay.
I'm beginning the mission.
X, there's a high probability that the insurgency there was caused by Mavericks.
Really? It wasn't an accidental bomb with the Maverick symbol on it? Are you sure, pink-haired? Pink-haired navigator? Oy, oy, oy. And the other night, because I guess I'm just like, oy, oy, oy. I have been oddly obsessed with this game. Maybe it's not that odd. It's a remake of, like, my favorite game ever, right? But I did a Bava run on hard. And I gotta tell ya, pretty rough. Pretty rough. It's like so crazy how his is set up, and like I guess maybe this shouldn't be that weird because there's like a lot of games where you get stronger as you go along and you kind of build speed. I hate how they're non-corporeal in the beginning. But like the hardest part of Vile's campaign is pretty much like the intro and then, whatever level you need to, you wind up taking out first. Because it took me like, I was expecting a guy to be there because there was a guy there for Vile. But yeah, it was like a half hour, I want to say, just to beat the, oh god, I can shoot through them? That's good to know. With Vile, half hour to beat the intro, I want to say. He just died way too easily. And then I don't know how long it took me until I was finally able to beat just, one boss. But after I beat the one boss, it was just slowly me punching through the rest of them. Who did I beat first on hard mode with Vile? Flame Mammoth. Flame Mammoth. Flame Mammoth, then the extra damage from his flamethrower let me beat Chill Penguin, and then, with Chill Penguin giving me upped armor, I was just off to the races. But my gosh, I was getting like super frustrated until I got to that point. I gotta say. They can crash into each other? That's neat. Listen, man. Okay. I don't care. I'm gonna fight Vile. Don't I have to... I guess with Vile I just have to go. I guess now I'm getting mixed up because I played this stage with Vile so much, I'm just like, well, this is what's supposed to happen. That would appear to be incorrect.
Vile, I should have known you'd be involved in Sigma's
I wonder if
rebellion.
Baba actually means anything in Japanese, or if it's just
I
like
don't know what you're talking about.
a silly noise,
I'm just here
right?
to cause trouble for you. I hate you.
Because, like, let's be real. You make a robot and you call him vile, you're probably asking for him to be a prick. He's going to kill me probably once. I knew it. But I didn't have full health, so I'm not too worried about it.
Here I come.
Ay, ay, ay. It's the Rogamer Storm!
You're ready, X.
I feel like it's bigger in the original. It looks more like a toy, the Rogamer Storm, or Death Rogamer. It's the Rogamer. I don't remember what the other word is. How does shooting Vile in the head make his armor blow up? I guess it doesn't blow up, and that's why we're here, but still.
You underestimated me. I hate that about you. X.
That's why you gotta
do.
shoot him,
I'll
put two
defeat
between
you
the
and
eyes.
Sigma. Then
One in the
I'll
chest.
Change the world.
That reminds me. I'm going for something special tonight.
Why would someone as
Something
powerful as you align
special, and
yourself
it's not the
with X?
Hadoken.
He's just a B-class hunter.
Although when I was
Nothing
testing
more.
audio on this before, which hopefully it's at the right
Nothing but a
level,
Maverick now.
I was doing Armored Armadillo stage on one of my, completed files, specifically so I could get the Hadoken. And you know what? I got the Hadoken. And you know what? I couldn't figure out how to use it. I swear I was doing the, down-forward thing. So I need to practice that
What
more.
happened to Vile?
All I know is that he's our enemy.
But at least
now.
I got the damn Hadoken.
X. I'm gonna stay on.
Good
Sigma's
evening,
trail a bit
Rayquaza.
longer. You get back to Hunter Base and take it easy.
Might have to look up and
Let's
make
look
sure
up
I'm not
again
missing
later.
anything. Then again, Dr. Light made a, point of saying, learn, focus your spirit and learn to shoot fireballs.
You saved me again.
So I don't know, maybe it's not the Hadoken. Or maybe that was the file that I didn't have everything unlocked on, and I just got the Hadoken, but since I don't have everything, I can't actually use the
Large-scale
Hadoken?
Mavericks
That'd be
have been detected
stupid.
in various locations.
That'd be stupid if it gave me an
Oh,
upgrade
no.
I couldn't
They must
use.
work for Sigma.
We'll think about that
It
later.
looks like the rebellion has begun.
I just want to get at least a
We
few
better put a
clips of
stop
it
to
so
them
that I
before we go
can
after
think
Sigma.
and, put it in the review. Because I may or may not be working on a review. I did get the Hadoken though, and that's pretty neat.
Flame Mammoth.
Beginning mission.
I lost a life on hard mode tutorial stage, yes. Against the boss that I came in with not full health on. Listen, I can't even feel bad about it. Because last night I did frickin' Vile hard mode, and it took me like a half hour just to beat this stinking, tutorial mode. Not the tutorial. To beat the intro stage, right? Watcha, watcha, watcha.
My name is Thomas Light.
Hey, we've
This
met.
Is a message for X. I entrust the future to.
We've met.
Light? I think I know this guy.
Yes, he
If
was.
you've come across
He
his
was
castle,
in the OVA.
I
You
fear
talked to him,
must
and he was
be
like,
released
"I'm
from the
old
Devil's
and I'm
Castle.
dying.
I have left 4
It's
powers
very
for you to
sad
inherit. I believe
that you will
use them
grow
in the
up
cause
without
of
a
justice.
father."
Here you will find the foot parts. Equip the parts you find in his castle, and you will gain the ability to dash. Use this power to steer the future in the right direction. I trust in you, my dear.
Can we call them the
X.
boot parts rather than the foot parts? I'm just not much of a foot guy. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. But yeah, something. Whoops. I do kind of like how when you go into a stage, at least I think it works this way. I think if I were to... Oh. Oh. Worth it! Worth it! But yeah, I think, like, if I were to get down to just, you know, like, be on my last life, beat a stage, I think it would bring me into the next stage that I chose at, like, you know, back to 2 extra lives, 3 lives total. Right? But if I were to end this one with 3 lives, it would just let me keep those 3 lives. I think it's one of those things where it's like, listen, we're not going to make you strategically SD to regain your, you know, your lives, right? But we're not going to take away the extra ones from you either, right? So it's one of those, it's very nice that they do the, you know, you either get this many lives or that many lives, whichever's higher. That's pretty dope. That's honestly very user-friendly. And I appreciate them making things, darn it, user-friendly. I was kind of hoping I could kill you in a single, I don't know, what do we want to call this? Combo? One attack pattern? Yeah, okay, I know your game. You're never getting me with that again. I mean, I won't say never, but... Oh, man, I was down there. Why did I walk into that? You let him psych you out. I did let him psych me out. Hey, Mammoth.
Why does Sigma think that a
And good evening, Big Red.
hunter like you is even worth my time?
Because they're underestimating
Sigma's a
me.
Maverick, just like you.
Sigma must be as crazy as you say. He keeps talking about how you are the future of Reploids.
I think I made a joke about how he's technically the past of the Reploids because that's where they get their design specs from, but...
Now it's time for me to stomp the future into dust.
I'm going to shoot you. Please don't jump right away. I'm going to shoot you. Darn it. So what's the... Oh god. He's still jumping. My gosh. At least he doesn't take advantage of it as much as stinking... There we go. Guts Man. But his vibrations lasting like 100 million years can get a little annoying, I guess is where I'm going with this. Listen. Those... Oh god. Well, I didn't want to rush into the blue flame. You know what I mean? Damn it! No, I was one hit away from death, and you gave me, you know, an attack that I couldn't really dodge around. You're the asshole here, Mammoth. And with the live specifically, if I were to win right now, the next stage I would go into, Chill Penguins, I believe they would bring me back up to, you know, 2 extra lives, right? But if I were to, you know, if I were to get this far with 3 lives, then they would just let me keep, like, the 3 lives. So it's just nice. It's just nice. I don't have to strategically kill myself so that I have the max number of extra tries. But it also won't take away my extra lives if I'm doing too well. It's one of those things that it will give me the highest number. Either default lives, or however many I've collected. Very nice, very user-friendly, very I appreciate you, Maverick Hunter X. You're so sweet. And this should work. I think at this point, I know how to get through these stages while only needing to backtrack. Actually, I might need to backtrack twice tonight because I'm gonna go for something a little special. You're an asshole. That, doesn't help. I almost jumped right into that. Like a dingus. It's kind of interesting, though, how with this, it's like, well, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da. You either start with Chill Penguin in the original, and only have to go back once to Chill Penguin stage, or it's just, you know, same thing but with Flame Mammoth. Whoever you start with, you only need to go back to their stage once. I like these backtracking orders. Hang on.
The
Head parts. Okay, I thought it was head parts.
Equip the parts you find inside, and you will gain the ability to smash blocks
Thank you.
with your head. I'm counting on you, X. You are humanity's last hope.
Am I? I mean, I don't know. Zero's pretty cool. He could probably be a humanity's hope. You bastard. Oh, I can't shoot through things. I'm such a loser. Stop following me. Boy, I can't wait until I get the Storm Tornado and just use that as my new buster. It's like, I swear, one of like... And this is something that I'm not sure how many people will notice or even agree with me, but like, I swear, the drop rates for energy in this are a lot low. Well, the drop rates for health energy are a lot lower. I say, and then they give me 2 fat ones. But it feels like the, you know, the drop rates on just weapon energy are a lot higher. So it really does feel like at points they just want me to be like, yeah, you know, we give you like 8 weapons. Pick your favorite, and that is your new... That is your new buster, if you so desire. And you know what? Regular buster doesn't go through objects anymore. So being able to start, you know, swap to just Storm Tornado, pretty dope. Pretty... You... bastard. Pretty dope. Okay. If I can kill Chill Penguin here, I can test and make sure that they carry over the lives for me.
Chill Penguin? Why?
Why? I wouldn't expect you to understand. Just look at you, X. You act so high and mighty, I can't
I don't act high and mighty, I'm just taller than you. It's easy to get confused. Oh, man. Actually, his shotgun ice is a pain in the ass. So I probably want to kill him before he can use that. No, he used it. I think if I stay on the wall that he's using the shotgun ice on, though, it'll work. Well, I won't get hit. But otherwise, 3 spread shots, a little difficult. Anyway, this is really awkward. Listen. No. Okay. Can we get him? I think one of the... Damn it! Almost. Didn't quite dodge it. I think 2 more hits and I got him. So if he doesn't... Oh, I dodged it! I dodged it! Yes! But yeah, I think if I die, they also refill my weapon ammo. So that further adds to the point that I really feel like they probably want me just using, like, really using my extras.
Mission accomplished.
Which I will oblige. Once I get Storm Tornado. Because Storm Tornado is busted in this. That's not accurate. If X were using the Shotgun Ice for real, he would say Shotgun Ice after literally every use. Okay.
Beginning mission.
And now, not everything's... Is it really on fire if it's lava? Lava and fire are two different things. Everybody who watches One Piece will tell you this. Making myself sad here. I was gonna say, I gotta be getting to the point where I need to jump further up. It's sometime soon, right? Oh, I just shot through him. I'm like, yeah, I'll tank the hit. Oh. Ay. I was initially like, why do they bother making it so that you need the, you know, the head parts here? But you get the foot parts, like, right down there, right? So if they made it so that you could get this one with the foot parts still... Well, I mean, you know. You just get, you know, bing, bang, boom, both of them. A little too easy. So I kind of get why they switched that to, you know, head part blocks. It's clever. I would have preferred just being able to get them both in one run. Don't get me wrong, but it's clever. I respect it from a game, you know, game design standpoint. In Vials mode, they go the opposite way, so that way you can contend with the frickin' armored doofuses. Which aren't even present here. Yay! Okay. Oh no, they are there. But they're like right at the edge with Vava. Because this game hates Vava. Which is... I guess they just wanted to make him a hard mode on top of the already hard mode that you have. And then you can double up on it by also playing hard mode with Vile. But there is still just something funny to me about that. We made Vile playable! Hooray! He's a son of a bitch. So it will be like 20 times more difficult than playing with X. Aww. Yeah, well. Maybe if he wasn't such an asshole. You're just gonna hang out over there, aren't you? I swear some of these placements are worse. But it could also just be that I played the original so much that I know exactly how to finesse these stinking, you know, platforms with the flamethrower guys on. I don't know. Guess what I'm saying is I prefer the original. Also, did those things that were barely out of sight both disappear by the time I jumped on them? The power-ups that could have refilled my health? Okay, let me check something. What is this dock? Okay, body parts, I'll take the body parts.
Enter the castle and equip them, and any damage you incur will be halved. It's sad, but I know that you can bring it to a peaceful conclusion, X.
People will stop fighting if we kill everyone on the other side. If that isn't a peaceful conclusion, I don't know what is. Mm-hmm. 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 I can get... Yeah. Surely they will have... Why did I think that that was past me? I don't know. Game ain't the only thing with object permanence. Oh, well, this is great. Did you get rid... No, there it is. I was gonna say, did you get rid of my happy time stinking extra life? I expected that to travel faster. That's on me. Listen, man. Whoops. And here's like another thing that kinda bugs me. Like, it can at times, and I think I fell off of it with Vile a few times, so I think I do know the answer. I think it's where the blinking lights are. But there does look to be a little more runway on the Death Rogamer,
Have you gone Maverick too?
so that it's hard to tell where the edge of this actual fight is.
If that's the case, I have no choice but to destroy you. It's my duty as a Maverick hunter.
Then the least I can do is fight with all
I put you
my
in the cuffs,
strength.
but you're missing your one hand, so that wouldn't work. I was thinking about this the other night, and is the reason why he looks more human to me now specifically because... Damn it. Because he has like a neck, and the original Storm Eagle, I don't think he did? He's gonna kill me because I have 1 HP left. Unless... Damn it! Oh, yeah.
I come.
Although I guess it's cool that they made him not a joke anymore. I mean, I know sometimes people do challenge runs where they're just like, can I beat Storm Eagle without dashing and everything, right? But with the boots, the original is a frickin' joke. I'd call him a gimme boss. Like, the fact that he actually attacks right here, bit of a problem for me, if I'm being honest. This, though, not so much. Bit of a pain in the ass if I have Vile, because Vile runs really slowly until you beat Storm Eagle. He goes fast after you kill Storm Eagle. Which I guess would be about the equivalent of needing to fight him without the dash boots. Which is interesting. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I am specifically playing hard mode, so each of them do have more moves now. Well, not all of them. I think some of them just, they make them a bit more aggressive or something like that. But some of them have more moves. But you know what? Pretty neat. Pretty neat. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Should I just fight? I could probably fight Octopus, and then... Because, yeah, I think Mandrill is last. You know what? I'm going to fight Armadillo. Why did I just say I'm going to fight Armadillo? I probably wanted to fight him last, because I need the boomerangs to get the one upgrade now in Spark Mandrill stage, so I need to take him out after Kuwanger.
I'm beginning the mission.
But I guess I'm just here thinking, oh well. He is such a pain in the ass. If I do not have, like, the spark shot, or whatever we call it. Thank you, Kissy Bat. And I want to say that I did this the last time I played, too, where I'm just like, yeah, no, let's take on Armadillo. crap I don't have the weakness. Pretty sure I can get away with it. It's just gonna be a pain in the ass, you know? Just gonna be a pain in the ass. Go. Go, no, after you. After you. I'm gonna wait. Excuse me. Well, I don't even need to get those things up there now. Those bats just gave me some nice refills. If I am really careful, I can get the Hadoken, I think. Okay. There went the Hadoken. There went the Hadoken. 'Cause I think I can get the Hadoken at any point in this. I just need to get through the entire stage without getting hit. Which I did do when I was screwing around earlier, but I specifically had the, the charged rolling shield up, because with that, it's just like, the bats don't matter anymore, you know? The bats do not matter. My gosh, that thing dies so fast. If you have a charged rolling shield up. The rolling shield, when it's no longer rolling, it's just on your body. I am sorely tempted to grab that stuff. Extra life? Do you love the sound effect where it's just like... That was cheap. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that's a shame, but I don't think most people have played this game. I think a lot of people have complained about how they did not put it in the collection. And hard mode Chameleon would be difficult to deal with without the dash. Because I think his big thing in this version in hard mode is specifically he drops more ay ay ay. Whee! Yay! He drops more spikes at once from the ceiling. I'm like, okay, I gotta change to the correct weapon. No, we're not changing to the correct weapon. Honestly, I would probably recommend just finding an emulator for this if you get a chance.
X, I have orders to defeat you if you showed up.
Though if you have a lot of things you want to play on PSP, I guess it would be worth it then.
Fight you because it is my calling.
So maybe I'm just assuming too much.
There's nothing Maverick about following orders. We're not in the wrong, X. Enough talk. Let's fight.
You say you're not in the wrong, but you bastard. Ay ay ay. Mammoth talks about being evil, is where I was going with that. Yeah, I am. Incredibly strong. You want to keep on shooting me? Damn it. What the shit, man? What the shit? You did give it. No! I noticed what he was doing right as he started doing it. Oh my gosh. Like, can you give me any chance to counterattack? Oh, no, I'm either in my armor or blocking with my frickin' arm. You're a bastard. If I don't have... There we go. Yeah, if I do not have the stinking spark, this is so drawn out. You're a bastard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stinking Frog did this. Stinking Frog did this in 0-2, and you know what? I hated him too. He was a bastard. A bastard that was apparently in line to be one of the 4 Guardians. Like, he's wide open, and then he's like, oh, no, I was actually doing my blocking move. I think I win, right? So maybe I shouldn't be complaining too much, but I hate him. Not only that, but he's like, my gosh. He's using the cliched Nazi excuse. There's nothing wrong with following orders. Damn it. He might beat me. If he does his super special move... Okay, I might have it. No, it wasn't! You were an asshole! Ay, ay, ay.
Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I don't honestly remember. I got this Gaia! I think I picked up the PSP originally to play this Gaia specifically. Because I was, like, interested in the series. And I think I played the first one on DS. But for anything after that, I pretty much needed a PSP. So wound up picking that up, and which is weird. I guess I just didn't pick up the, you know... I didn't pick up the PSP for Mega Man stuff specifically because it's like, well, I already have this on Super Nintendo. I already have the Anniversary Collection.
Beginning mission.
Ay, ay, ay. But beyond that, I don't know. I remember getting, like, a few other games. What am I even doing? A few other games just because I had this system, right? Like, I think I have Street Fighter Alpha. No, I have Street Fighter Alpha 3. Which fully cemented my I don't think I like fighting games. Why did I do that? Because you suck. I do suck. Ay, ay, ay. Also, my Darkstalkers, come to think of it. But Darkstalkers is one of those series that they will put out collections of all the time. Of the same, you know, like the original 3 games, and then do actually nothing new with it. Which, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Kinda lame. Though that does remind me, you're a bastard. Oh god. I need to not be under these. Ay, ay, ay. There's a part of me that wanted to do a video on this, but I couldn't think of a way to actually drag it out and do a full video. But yeah, they did something, we got something back from the Capcom Super Elections. It was an image that had just like a bunch of words, and the bigger the words, you know, the bigger the word, the more people, you know, the more it got mentioned during the Super Election. And the biggest... the biggest thing on their little, I don't know if you want to call it a chart or what, their image was Mega Man. Although, surprisingly, Dino Crisis was, you know, like, very, very close to it in size. And Darkstalkers was on there pretty, you know, pretty prominently, too. Also the name Veronica, so I guess a lot of people wanted to see a remake of Code Veronica specifically. You know what? Just in case you drop something fun. Oh, yeah. Remember, X. It doesn't count unless you say it absolutely every time. I probably wanted to kill Octopus before this. Oh well. Doing Buster only, it's kind of interesting. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm a little behind with chat. Hang on a sec.
So, you've made it this far. Looks like Sigma was right about you. You've got potential.
Potential? What are you talking about? Tell me what you mean.
For a
Okay, Disgaea is... I believe they call it like a super JRPG. It's like a grid-based game where the max level is 999. No, 9,999.
Nothing else.
There's a bunch of like demon worlds and everything, and it's just like a goofy little series. Dino Crisis is a series that I don't really know much about. I just know the name. I want to say that it's something where you shoot dinosaurs, but I think I'm confusing that with Turok. Damn it! I was hoping you'd go above my head. Ay, hang on. And yeah, the frog, that was something, whoops, that I read specifically in the complete work, but they're like, yes, or maybe it was on the wiki, but either way, yeah. Phantom dies, so they need a replacement. And apparently the frog was in the frickin' running, which is wild. But he's, I think he's the biggest pain in the ass in that game. Even outside of, you know, outside of the Phoenix, which is pretty infamous. Okay. We all know what needs to happen. And yeah, you'd have to, like, look it up. You'd have to look it up because it's just, like, it's a word bubble, right? Where, like I said, it's just a creation of word, you know, like, it's just a collection of words, right? But yes, the more popular words are bigger. It was just, you know, their way of saying, like, hey, without, you know, without actually announcing the results. Here's kind of what a lot of people, you know, what had people talking for the super elections. Which, when they first, you know, started doing the super elections, I kind of questioned whether they'd show any results at all. Because I kind of feel like that makes it, you know, that at least puts a little more pressure on them to actually do what people are asking, right? Because at this point, if they, you know, acknowledge that Mega Man is what a lot of people are hankering for, and they just continue to refuse to give people Mega Man, well, it'd just be a bit of a dick move. Bit of a dick move. Also, I'm gonna throw this out there. Spike wheels, kind of a pain in the ass for this part. The little hit-and-run drones. I prefer them. I prefer them. There's a bit more predictability to, you know, how they're gonna attack and everything. They don't just like, it's not just like, here we are, we're on your head. You are now dead. Okay. I'll just wait for it to stop, because it's not gonna let me go anyway. Yeah. I was facing the wrong way. Oh my gosh, I have flubbed this jump. And you thought you could do hard mode tonight. You thought that you were up to the task. Pathetic. Okay. Listen, I need you dead. Oh, okay, he is. Good, good, good. No, I kind of wanted that for my tank. No. Oh, how could this How could this be? Boop, 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 boop. Come on. Yes! And now we can leave. Escape? Yes, please. Aye, aye. Mm-hmm. Not exactly the answer, right? They didn't really show, you know, like, what specifically people were asking for or anything like that, if you know what I mean. Like, they didn't show you know, like, the results to individual questions. I think it was specifically, like, the last thing. The last question was just like, share any other random thoughts. And I guess these were the things that people talked about the most when they were just given, you know, like, the write anything prompt. Point is, it was very interesting. And honestly, it's just very, very good information to have. 'Cause I'm gonna be honest, with me, you know, being obsessed with Mega Man and talking a lot about Mega Man and doing a channel that is 90% Mega Man, or at least Mega Man adjacent, sometimes I question whether I'm not just in an echo chamber when I'm like, yeah, people really want Mega Man. So seeing that they apparently do, that's comforting. It's comforting to me. Yeah! Oh, I shot around absolutely all of them. That's fine. So glad that they give you a little more platform now. Because this really was... And it's like so easy to jump, you know, just around and over it. This honestly was just one of those spots, like, originally, that it's just like, there is like a 50-50 chance that when I get here, I am going to see me lose a life. This is the one I want. Uppy, please. Yeah. Whoops. Storm Tornado was good in the original, but I feel like it definitely wasn't as broken as it is here. Oh, I hit him on both ends. Get somewhere I can shoot you again. And you're already yellow. That's good for me. I was gonna say, I can honestly probably just throw these out, and there's like about a 50-50 chance that as long as you are, and as long as these are, it will hit. Yeah! Okay. My goodness. Doing things in this order just got me feeling all goofy. It's like, how far in the game am I? Normally I fight Octopus a lot earlier. Yeah, pretty early. Get up here where I can shoot you. Actually, I guess if I want to see how far along I am, all I need to do is look at the thing up top that's just like, congratulations, you have 5 of the 8 weapons. Pretty handy. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna kneecap him. I'm gonna kneecap him with his weakness.
Launch, Octopus! How could you do something like this?
I am an artist, UCX, an artist of underwater combat. But no one has recognized that fact. Not until now.
So what? All Sigma needs to do is tell you that you're pretty, and all of a sudden, you know, you're just join his side? Are you really that easy?
This is a very important battle.
You're so vain, you probably think this song is about you. Though, isn't that song technically about, you know, whoever they're talking about? It's not about them, it's about their vanity. Ay. Then again, I only know the refrain, the repeated part for that song. I hit you. You have quite the dome there. So I'm pretty sure I would notice. Yeah!
Mission accomplished.
Okay, now what do I want to... Like, at this point, it doesn't really matter which of these guys I kill first. So for the novelty of it, I will do Mandrill last.
Sting Chameleon.
I'm beginning the mission.
I was panicked a little bit when I started this up. I was like, I didn't need to kill, you know, Mandrill first to be able to get something, and it's like, no, you just killed Octopus. You're good. You can get the one, you can get the heart tank. And I was expecting a guy to be up here because he's up here in Vile's thing. I was gonna say, I am kicking. There we go. There we go. Pow. Oh, I don't need to worry. Okay, yeah, cool. That is what the helmet is for. But the thicker boogers, they're men. Rock men. They're boulder men. Oh, you were a real... Oh, my gosh. Oh, okay. Just run. Just run. Through the cave. Through the biomes. Kill the birds, kill the trees. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on a second, my friend. Yeah, I didn't feel like dealing with you. Okay, I was testing and I'm like, well, with Vava, you get the extra, you know, machine gun and everything. And it's like, no, X got basic armor. You know what? I'm just gonna let you... Oh, now you want to get up where I can frickin' punch you. Son of a... Well, I didn't mean to do that. Or I should have went... You dumb shit. I realize now, I'm like, you should have went to Mandrills first, because had you gone to Mandrills, you could have gotten the... Oh, okay. You could have gotten the thing. You could have gotten the last sub-tank. It'd have been awesome. I have seen some things on Reploid Revo.
Why have you all fallen in with Sigma?
I've watched a few of his videos here and then, and you know, then I heard that there's been some creepy stuff going on, but I haven't seen, then I wasn't able to find much in the ways of specifics. Then I saw a video recently, and I think several other people are going to come out with videos too. Like, I think, you know, Shadow Rock ZX is supposed to do a video at some point, and yeah. So I will certainly, whoops. Keep it in mind when choosing what to watch, I guess. But yeah, he said some pretty foul things, I will, you know, from what I've seen. Which, little disappointing. Did like the videos of his I saw. I swear I get away in the original game with things going off screen more. Oh, yeah. As for the other thing, it is kind of surprising that there have not been, there hasn't been a Boulder Man. I mean, they did a Stone Man.
Mission accomplished.
I think some people have said that's kind of a ha-ha, he-he sort of thing where it's like Rock Man, Stone Man. Okay. One more, and I should probably save it at some point in my miserable life? I don't know. Just an idea. Just an idea.
I'm beginning the mission.
Aye. But yeah, I think one of the other things, though, with Reploid Revo that's a little troublesome is he's not come out with a statement himself, so, aye. It's one of those things you're only getting one side of the story. At the same time, though, I think he came out with a statement saying that he was preparing a statement, but it's been, like, so long that I think some people are just assuming he's dodging, he's trying to duck the question. He's trying to pull a frickin' Ubisoft where it's like, if we just don't address all of the horrible things, eventually people will just want their next Assassin's Creed. And forget about everything. Darn it. So yeah, can't claim to know, too many of the specifics myself. All I can really say is, it's a little troubling, yes. I feel like this isn't the weakness anymore for this thing, but I'm still going to use it because it does a good job of clearing out his other crap. Shooting dust. Darn it. I had room there, and then he slid. Why does the sticky bubble slide? You son of a bitch. Oh, I missed. Original X1, he'd be, well, there we go. I mean, I guess he is dead. Huh. Oh man, I was kind of hoping to get that. There we go. Whoops. Well, I mean, we're getting stuff back. That means I can continue abusing the Storm Tornado and hear, X's lovely voice call out Storm Tornado. That was cheap. Should be right up here, right? Yes. Swing up. I should know the trick for this. But this is just kind of annoying. I'm doing the dumb thing where I'm like twisting my hands. What if? Okay, what if? That didn't work. I was like, what if I leap? I did this last time, therefore it's doable. The Super Nintendo can keep track of things when it goes off screen. I would have still had those boomerang cutters. Ay. This just bugs the piss out of me. I used to be able to frickin' do crazy jumps around. And it was Wicked sweet. Oh my god. Why am I not using this again? Ay, ay, ay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you come out there. Where is my, I was gonna say, please, I need to see the platform. Gets by, okay.
Let's get started.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Commander Sigma is insane, X?
He's no commander. Not anymore.
He's just a terrorist commander. We're a freedom fighter commander, whatever we want to call this. He's leading a coup.
Maybe Sigma was right and you were
No.
wrong?
No, I've killed like 7 people just to get here. You think I would have did that if I was, you know, if I was second guessing myself? Now you as well, listen to my dulcet tones as I continually yell, Shotgun Ice.
This is what it's like.
Ay, ay, ay. I think the only person who has ever had it worse than him is Stinkin' Toad Man.
Mission accomplished.
You don't even need his weakness. Just a charge shot when he jiggles his belly is all you need to make him completely ineffectual. Yeah.
We have an incoming transmission. It's Zero.
Get this info to X. I've discovered Sigma's base. I'm sending the coordinates now.
We've located you, Zero. I'm on my way.
Zero asking me on a
Okay,
date?
but listen, this place is more secure than I thought. Let's split up their forces.
Ay,
Find another
ay,
road
ay.
in.
Okay, I should probably save it because I have not done that yet. Ay, ay. And just the proof here. Wait, was this it? You see that? Vile mode hard. Cleared. I mean, I probably don't need this file. It's one of those things that I really don't need more than a few. So I might as well just not let it get too wacky with how many things I have saved up.
I'm beginning the mission.
Honestly, back in the day, it'd just be a frickin' napkin. Frickin' napkin that I wrote the codes on. Which did have somebody, yeah, I talked to one person one time who complained about the lack of a save system in the original X. I'm just like, well, one, beat it in a single playthrough, you know, in a single sit down, right? And two, I don't know, I kind of liked just having secret passwords and everything when I was a kid. I guess there was just something that appealed to me at that age. And I guess if I had been a bit more internet savvy, I could have also just been like, oh man, this is too hard for me, or I can't find this. Why don't I just get a code off the internet? Oh, yeah.
Launch Octopus?
I am Launch Octopus.
You sure are,
I
buddy.
have the orders to deal with any intruders.
Hey, I was invited
Sigma must
here.
have brought his body back to life.
I have been ordered to fight.
I'll show you how an artiste.
Wasn't invited here by Sigma, but I was invited. Oh man. Oh man! Making me waste my rolling shields. I mean, I'm not gonna really be using them for much. But still, if I had the option to not use a shield or use a shield, I'd probably keep my weapon ammo. You know. I feel like I shouldn't be able to do this, especially on hard mode. When I was a kid, yeah, I kinda did. I thought there was like a certain charm, you know. Ay. Maybe that just means that I didn't have many friends to, you know, have... you know, secret codes and handshakes with and all that jazz. But there was something, I don't know, I thought really neat about just having a dumb little password that you wrote down. It's like, yes, I earned this. And then it's also shareable, too, is like the other neat thing, right? You could give it to your friends, you could give it to your sibling or cousin or something. You could, you know. I swear my hands work. Oh my gosh, I didn't think you'd angle it that well. Which, hey, maybe it's just one of those, you know, you had to be there sort of thing. I certainly do think there's something nice about just being able to save, you know, on this version of the game, right? At the same time, though... I can't just share, you know, my save files. Or borrow a save file. I don't know, I guess there's just like a bit more of a sense of community with passwords. I guess. Maybe it's due to my longing for, you know, my longing for belonging.
I'll see if you're operating up to spec.
Mm-hmm. He just falls on his butt. Hmm. Come on. There's something. I don't know. I feel like his his wings are a lot more prominent in this instance. I honestly used to wonder if Kuwanger was just, you know, like a weird armored up human. Well, I guess he's still humanoid, but you know. I do not remember when I finally figured out that he was actually a bug. Well, I guess he does, you know, his original design also kind of had some mandibles on him. I walked right into that like a dingus. It'd be really nice if literally any of you decided to... Yes, drop health. They dropped more health. I mean, I can probably take out the boss, you know, boss spider, whatever. With just this. Well, I guess that could be a little discouraging if, you know, you had trouble reproducing them, yeah. Just slow down. But yeah, I don't know. Could honestly just be a bit of 90s nostalgia. Still think the original was harder. Damn it. I say that, but that bit's kind of a pain in the ass. I feel like it was more predictable, at least. Where he's gonna be shuffling around, more predictable this version. Where he's gonna be throwing out his babies, that's a little trickier to, you know, to tell. And I'm just gonna throw this out there. When I shoot something off screen, it disappears. So why you shooting, you know, you shooting your babies off into the sky, off into the great blue yonder? I'm just saying that they should be despawned the minute they go off screen, apparently. Whatever, I won. Now I get to the... Oh, this is the pain in the ass level, isn't it? But it has Rongdabongda, and I love Rongdabongda. Rongdabongda is so silly. I probably don't need it to just shoot the bat. Now I need it. Seriously, those things are a pain in the ass. Listen, let me stand... Yeah, that's right, you die immediately. Is it even worth bringing you along? I don't really know that it is. I mean, I'll do it, but... And this is their clever way of teaching you that there will be a pain in the ass, stinking, you know, tank to bug you in a little bit. Yeah, fuck you. That is so cheap when you don't know it's coming. It can still be a little cheap when you do know it's coming. Listen, man. I need to get out of this, and I don't want to bump my head on you. Wait a sec. This is Dillo. Aye. Really wish I could have gotten more use out of the Gaia armor, but you get it so late in the game. Just so late in the game, and Falcon armor just breaks all the platforming sections, so... I like it. Could you calm your tits for me? Uh-huh, around the room. Oh, I guess you still had iframes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I probably want to use this, right? I mean, I can probably just go normal at this point. It's probably not a big deal. I guess I could use the stinking rolling shield charged up to just skip my way through this. Whoops, not skip my way through it. I mean more skip as in, you know, la-di-da, skip to Maloo, my darling, sort of thing. Not skip ahead. But it's not very hard. Listen, Storm Eagle, I was gonna take a second there. To figure out whether I wanted to actually use your weakness. And you know what? I think I do. I think I'll have enough for Rongdabongda. No, you blocked it. Wait, where are you? Okay, you're right there. Oh, I can even knock him out of that. That's handy. Okay, I'll save the rest. Oh, man. I shot you there because I thought you would die. That's why I didn't dodge. Oy. Yeah, now that you mention it, I don't think that I have ever gotten to, you know, I shadowed Devil with Gaia armor. That would be kind of rough. Honestly, security lasers are always rough. Although you definitely get some people who defend it. Then again, some people will defend anything. I bet there's some people who defend the boo beam attack. Well, boo beam trap. I'm not sure he gets any iframes either, which is really rough. For him, not me. I'm cool with this.
This is what it's like.
Perfectly cool for this. Where are we? Oh, we're going... Okay. It's like, what's the last little bit of this level like? Darn you. I mean, I did that to myself, but still. I could be doing this a little smarter, I guess. Okay, I'm probably fine. Probably. Ah, it's almost 8:30. I'm like, why is Lucina getting agitated? Is she... And she's a little early. She's not that much early. Not that much. Listen, man. 4 eyeballs at once? That's nuts. I've almost killed your left eye. Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh, this thing is, like, so slow. Which is somehow more nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh, There we... Actually, no, I wanna be away from you. Uh-huh. One more. One more. One more. Oh, he only blinked that time. There we go. Yeah, Easter wasn't too bad. Just got together with family and all that stuff. Pretty simple, but it was pleasant enough. Lego Yoshi's, okay. Yeah, Mario is doing a bunch of that stuff. Yeah, that sounds neat. I mean, I definitely had a Lego phase at one point. Mostly Lego Star Wars because those were, like, the cool ones back in the day. But yeah, I could have seen myself getting into the Mario and Sonic ones, though, these days, for sure. Camp in the ledge. Do I want to save this? Maybe. Then again, maybe not. It's you, right? Yes. Yes, it's you, you dingus. Good evening, Blues, and you say that, but I am on hard mode right now. But yeah, yeah, they made some small tweaks to some of the bosses. And in hard mode, he gets the... Oh, he didn't shotgun ice me again. But yeah, I'm trying to think of... Why did I do that? Because you were trying to shut... Yeah, I guess. It is interesting, though, to me, how many times they have used Rangda Bangda by this point. He's in the original game. He's obviously in the remake. They use him in X5. They use him in X Dive. And I feel like there's at least one other Rongdabonga that I'm forgetting about. But hey, it's an interesting boss, and I like saying Rongdabonga, so I will not complain. Yeah, when I was when I was over at my house, I did see a bunch of my Star Wars. There was a guy up there. A bunch of my Star Wars Legos when I went in like the one room. Which I'm not sure if somebody just made them and my parents just never took them apart. I wanted to switch to the boomerang. Or if they're technically Sam's Legos now. Would not, you know, hold it against him either way. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. One of these times I'm not gonna dodge him. I knew it. Although speaking of Sam, he told me like recently, I don't remember what we were talking about. Like, well, obviously we were talking about Battle Network. But I knew for that he liked Toadman because he just has like an odd obsession with, like, I shouldn't say odd obsession because Mega Man's more my thing. It's just like the one character he likes the most, I think, from Mega Man is Toadman specifically. Like the original, now he likes the EXE version. I was like, oh, well, you know, something, something, something. Oh, your second favorite boy. And he's like, my second favorite? I'm like, yeah, Proto Man. And he told me that apparently, at this point, Magnet Man has overtaken Proto Man. Which I found interesting. Which Magnet Man EXE is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I will give him no crap for that. But then, yeah, I have like a Magnet Man action figure from back in the day. EXE. And I was like, well, maybe I'll see if I can find another Magnet Man EXE figurine on eBay to give him, right? And I found some. But they were all very obviously used. Which means that the people who had the Magnet Man EXE figures that are now selling them, they must have really loved them back in the day. I did not dash jump off of that. That's my bad. Uh-oh. The blues, and also massive slowdown. Darn it, I was kind of trying to hoping to catch you there. Okay. And yeah, I think the most ridiculous thing about Toadman EXE is that they don't even, like, pretend that he's not a frog. There's literally a line where you're going to look for Toadman EXE in Battle Network 5, and they're like, something, did a frog nabby come through here? And it's like, come on, Mega Man. You're at least supposed to pretend that he's a toad and not a frog. But yeah, my brother played the Team Proto Man version of Battle Network 5, right? And Magnet Man was like his favorite guy to use. Over Proto Man because admittedly his wide sword is a little hard to use with its limited range. Do I just want to fight Vava? Will any of you give me actual health? Yes, there we go. You know what? Oh man, there's a small one. I got hit trying to get the small one. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go. You know what? I don't need full health to take on Vava.
Zero!
Oh, yeah.
You're no different than Zero. You worried about
Yeah, I like
Sigma
the
when you should've been
original.
worried about me.
I like the original Proto Man. I think he looks pretty cool. But when it comes to, you know, EXE, I don't know.
Plan. I don't usually like following other people's plans.
He's cool and all. But it feels like they tried to make him just like a bit too cool. I say as someone who's, you know, one of my favorite characters in all of anything. Maybe my second favorite character in all of anything is frickin' Zero. The ultimate edge.
It's over.
X, you're a loser. You can't beat him.
Zero. Hope you're ready. X.
Yeah, Oh, damn it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I didn't jump right. Yeah. Do have two, you know, two Proto Man figurines, EXE though. And I probably have one. I think I have the Jazzware regular Proto Man figurine somewhere too, come to think of it. So I did like him enough to get some stinking merchandise. Honestly, kind of wish I would have gotten... I think there's like about half of the Double Soul action figures that I do not have, which I kind of always regretted not putting that in my collection. But I believe that was back during a time when I had limited allowance, as it were.
Hope you're ready, X.
Something. I just have a lot of dumb figurines. I'm behind you now. Oh, damn. My gosh. No. I think it's neat that they added in his finger guns.
Zero, hang in there, buddy.
X, I'm always telling you.
Listen, don't tell anybody, but when I say that Zero's one of my favorite characters, I'm kind of talking about this Zero, but I'm also mostly talking about Mega Man 00.
No time for that. Here, take my arm parts. Use them on Sigma.
Zero.
This might have been the first time that I've ever gotten his arm parts.
Maverick Hunter X.
Title drop! But yeah, most wanted character for Smash is specifically Mega Man 00. And I always justify it by saying, if we get Mega Man 00, maybe I should just say MMZ0. Then he could have like 20 billion weapons. Which is true, but if we go with, you know, X7 and X8, he also has like about 20 billion weapons in those. Specifically 8. Am I gonna be fine? My goodness, some of these iframes just last a bit longer than I think they're going to. Yeah. I did that to myself. I missed. I have watched the terminal montage of X so damn many times, dear lord. Anyway, it is time to feed my cats. So I'm gonna do that just in case this ends up taking me a little while. If I had confidence I could do it in one, I'd just hammer it out quick, but this is gonna be a little rough. I'll be right back. Okay. Oy, oy.
I'm beginning the mission.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I think, like, the big thing with Original Zero is just, one, he was around for longer, and two, I think most of the X games were a lot better received than the Zero games. Which, hey, maybe if they weren't so sadistic, that wouldn't have been the case.
I see a new clarity in your eyes. You are no longer troubled.
I am very troubled.
X, that
Do you not
look in
hear
your
how
eyes makes
angry
me
I
think
am?
you would be ready to face me. But why don't you try this on for size first?
Oy, oy, oy. His dog, whose name I don't remember. Darn it! And here I was about to make some smartass comment about how it's actually easier to dodge his fire than his ice. Anyway, do you mind if I change my weapon loadout while you're talking?
You do have the potential I had seen in you. Our potential is limitless.
You think you have potential? You're insane, Sigma!
That's not what you really think.
Definitely, Zero games are definitely not for everybody. For sure.
You've only been led to think that. Nothing more. I'll take you on. Here I come, Max.
Not what I meant to do. Not what I meant to do. Come on up. Come on up. Darn it. I gotta watch doing this because his extra attack for this is a dive when he's jumping off of the walls. So I can't just be like, well, I know exactly where he's gonna move. I died. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That was the move I was worried about, believe it or not. Fight my dog again, X. Okay. Okay. Listen. I can't believe I'm... Oh, and then that's what gets me? That's what gets me? I really would like to save all of my sub-tanks. I think I dodged that. You know what? If you want to keep on doing this... No! Coming right frickin' for me. My gosh. He's so intimidating. I got wall jumps. At close range, it's a little more threatening. He hit me with his frickin' sword. What an asshole. Fair, though.
I should have known you could do it, X.
Do I want to immediately? Because I feel like I die in one hit to Final Sigma.
I think you've been classified as a B-class hunter.
Sigma, your Maverick plan stopped right here!
Oy, oy, oy. Do appreciate that it, you know, lurks in the back of the screen.
It's not over yet, X. The battle, the angst,
Rather than just
the
coming out of
destruction.
nowhere.
I will make you understand the true potential of Reploid.
Okay.
I'll finish this! Right here, right now! I will defeat you, Sigma!
You tell him, X. You tell him, real quick. I do not have faith that I live a hit. And you know what? While we got this out, rolling shield. What are you doing? Oh, damn it! Oh, crap. I wanted to be on the other side. I could have gotten some cheap damage on this dude. There we go. Yeah, slapped you around. Listen. If you're smart... Oh, my God. Do I live a hit? I don't live another hit. Stop. Give me a chance to counterattack, please. What are we doing? Darn it, I jumped because I was worried he was doing his new attack. That one... That one's easy to deal with. Just stay in the corner. Wait. Oh. Oh. Ooh. 2 cheap hits. Wait. Another one. Get off of it. Oh, okay. This is the... Yeah, I just need to look. If it's more bluish, he's doing this. If it's yellowy-ish... I think... Oh, no. He didn't do it. Okay. Well, I misread that, but it doesn't matter. Because I'm winning. Yeah! I had sub-tanks. Ay. Ay. The voice acting is mostly bad in X4, and it's pretty questionable in X7, too. It's not bad in X8, it's not bad in X Command Mission. And no, I wasn't going for the Hadoken, I was going specifically for Zero's Buster, because apparently Zero's Buster is different. Which I should probably... You know what? Maybe I'll go back and get the Hadoken real quick. Specifically because I want to play around with Zero's Buster. Because his Buster is like, from what I read up on, it's supposed to be good against bosses. Which is funny because they give it to you right when you only have D-Rex and then the final stage.
I granted X special powers that no other robot possesses, utilizing his conscience.
And again, I'm also playing this on hard mode, so he might. I think hard mode specifically makes it so that I have more, I take more damage, though. So I don't think he would, but hey, maybe they threw that in, too.
It is an unfortunate fact that human life is short and fleeting. I fear that I will not have the time to ensure the safety of the X.
Yeah, I don't think he gets the spark balls in this that he had in the original game, but instead they give him...
Perhaps he will be discovered in
They give him the beams of light. Yeah, the blue ones. And yeah, if you're doing this on hard mode, there was that spark attack where he'd zap the middle of the screen and then sparks would shoot out on either side. So they changed him up a little. Changed him up a little.
I urge the people of the future to remember that X is my, the world's hope.
He's fighting to save the world. Produced by Capcom. Oh, yeah. If only this had done better. I will never stop lamenting that. Okay, so I can screw around with the Buster a little bit. I think I will try to get the Hadoken real quick.
Mega Man
The Archie comics were... I really, really love the Archie comics. And hey, maybe they'll come back someday, because I don't think the Archie Mega Man comics ever got officially canceled for Mega Man. I think specifically they just got, you know, put on indefinite hiatus. So Sonic transitioned pretty well from Archie to IDW. But with, like, Mega Man specifically, that's one of those things that it's like, they had so much built up with those, you know. It would be awkward to start over. Pow, pow, pow. Dropping so much crap. Thank you. Oh. You were supposed to die. Ay. Mega Man was definitely the comic that I looked forward to the most every month. These days, I guess it's probably Moon Knight followed by Sonic. IDW is doing good stuff with Sonic. In fact, they might be doing well enough that it would not surprise me if they put in some of the original characters from IDW into the games. I think 1 or 2 did make it into some of the mobile titles. And I think they were smart enough this time to make sure that they got it in their contract that any characters that IDW makes specifically for Sonic is owned by Sega. I believe a lesson was learned. Ay. After Ken Pender. What the shit? I feel like I probably should have gotten hit there. But I'm also willing to take it. It's certainly interesting that the whole trick for this is, yeah, use specifically the weapon you get from this stage to clear this stage without taking damage. Okay. Assuming that the birds can't get through my shield, I think I'm good? My shots are red now because 0. Whee! Talk to me, Doctor.
X. So you've made it this far, have you? Enter this capsule, and you will receive an ability that only a few people have been able to master through intense training. Since your soul is nearly human, I suspect you can master it.
Yeah, I think they were actually in the works to, you know, like, they were at least in talks to do the X series. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar that they started introducing X stuff into the comics. Aye. Yeah, I think Ian Flinch just... Why can't I do this? Oh, it's forward, down. Forward, down, forward? Forward, down, forward? Forward, down, forward? Forward, down, forward? Can I get him? You know what? I'm gonna try to get him. Until they knock me out of it. Or I walk through a door, I guess.
X, I have orders to defeat you if you showed up.
You'll fight me just because Sigma...
We've already seen this.
Enough talk. Let's
We've already seen this. Oh dear. No way! You piece of shit! You know what? I was trying to have fun. And you know what? You ruined it. You ruined it by being an asshole.
You're strong.
I think I started on a thought, and then somebody interrupted me. It was... Ian Flynn does really good with video game adaptations. His Sonic stuff, I think, is really great, and my gosh, I adored the Mega Man stuff. And while I'm sure not many people will lament this, he was supposed to do an adaptation of the ARMS games. It got like one chapter for a free comic book day, you know, half issue, and then it never continued. Probably because ARMS was not popular enough to justify a, you know, comic adaptation.
Mission accomplished.
But I liked ARMS. I kind of thought the characters were pretty interesting, so I would have been all about a monthly comic. Let's kill one other... That sounds brutal. Let's screw around a little bit, though. And yes, ARMS the Switch game. Don't tell anybody, it's very embarrassing, but I actually quite like ARMS. I quite like ARMS. But I think I just have like an odd obsession for things where, you know, characters have like stretchy punches. Favorite fictional character of all time is probably Majin Buu, so that's probably where that originates from. Specifically Kid Buu. So yeah, like as soon as I saw ARMS announced, I was like, oh man, I am all in on this. Point where I actually have... I probably told this before, but whatever. When the Switch was announced, and they showed off ARMS, that was like the game that was just like, right out the gate, I'm immediately getting this. This is the game that I want the Switch to play. But I was like working the day the pre-orders went live, so I was not able to go in and get it. So I asked my mom to go in and pre-order it for me. I'm like, hey, put money down on the Switch, and put money down on this ARMS game for me. And then she told me afterwards that she was in line, and she heard, like, the guy in front of her talking about it, and she's like, oh, yeah, you know, like, the guy was like, yeah, that, you know, that stupid, like, boxing game, like, who wants that, or, you know. They were making fun of it, and my mom was just there very silently being like, that was the thing. That was the thing I was asked to pick up. No! I guess it's doing decent damage. I guess the Zero Buster is doing decent damage on this boss. Which, I guess doing the rematches here, replaying the stages, could make it worth it if you just wanted to, you know, screw around. It's a neat little bonus, the Zero Buster. Oh, yeah. It was, I don't know that it was ever hot. It was almost hot when Min Min got added to Smash. Honestly, I've gotten a few people to play the... Let's kick Vile's ass. I've gotten a few people to play it, and they've all enjoyed it. I think, like, the thing was... I think the game either needed to be cheaper to succeed, or it needed to specifically have more to do than just, you know, like, the arcade mode and the online mode. It feels a little weird to say that the game where, you know, the boxing game where you could also play basketball, volleyball, and, you know, like, the points challenge needed more variety, but it really did. I wish it had succeeded. I'm trying to remember... I think the guy that directed ARMS is also the guy that does... Animal Crossing? See, no, I think it's Mario Kart. The guy that directed ARMS did, you know, III, he was also in charge of Mario Kart. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, if you ask Nintendo what they would rather have you working on, ARMS or Mario Kart, I think the answer to that's going to be pretty damn obvious, right? I guess what I'm saying is, I really liked ARMS, but I do not seeing it gets an ARM, you know, getting an ARMS 2 anytime soon. I kind of expect to get an ARMS 2, you know, like 15, 20 years from now where it's like, hey, remember that goofy and wacky thing that we did, you know, way back when? What if we gave it another shot? What if we just tried it? And then they do it again, and then it doesn't take off again, and then they're like, oh, that's why. Ay, ay, ay. Wait, yeah, oh yeah, whoops. Oh, I'm still going, okay. Am I still going? I guess I'm still going. I need to kill you, and then I can darn it. Ay, ay. Well, I think it's like all about sales numbers for that sort of thing. Like, I talk about this fairly often, but ARMS, the not the original ARMS, the only ARMS game sold like about, you know, like over 2.5 million, which I think is a pretty good sales number, right? Like 2.5 million, that's pretty impressive. But you match that up against, you know, Mario Kart, and that's even more impressive. Splatoon, on the other hand, was a game that somehow managed to do well on a console that nobody bought. So I feel like that's a very, very different situation. And it also felt like there was enough in Splatoon to justify its price.
Zero, what happened to Vile?
Played a lot of Splatoon 1 back in the day.
Zero.
I played a good bit of Splatoon 2. I got into Splatoon 2 several times. Like, I'd come, you know, like, I'd play it, I'd stop playing it, I'd come back when something, you know, something piqued my interest again. And then 3 just doesn't feel like it does enough to justify, you know, like, it feels like it should have been, you know, a patch or DLC. Splatoon is fun. I'll give it that. Splatoon's definitely fun. Do find it interesting that I can now just go back through the levels with their hazards back on. How long will I go? I don't know. I guess as long as I'm talking. Whoops. Whoops. But yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Like, one of the weird things about ARMS specifically is there's like one guy that I used to follow. He was called Astro Ninja, and I think at least for a time he was considered like the best ARMS player in the world. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna follow this guy. I'm gonna follow him, and I'm just gonna get a bunch of cool info about ARMS, right? And then at a certain point, he just like kind of like I don't think he'd posted anything on his channel for a while, and all of a sudden he does like some updates where he's like, hey, I'm working on a gadget from Rescue Rangers, like, fan game, right? And he was, like, oddly smug about it, like, yes, Disney, I'm such a big deal, you should let me, you know, you should just let me do this, maybe even support me, and da-da-da-da, and it's one of those, it's like, I mean, it was a little weird. It's a little weird. I'm not gonna, you know, Nothing against furries. I've been known to enjoy some art myself, right? But there's just something a little strange when the guy that you're following specifically to, you know, get all of the, you know, all the good tips and tricks on a video game suddenly swaps over to, you know, content based around their mouse waifu. Again, no hate, it's just a bit of an odd pivot. Although I guess that just shows the whole thing about how it can be tricky to, if you're known for one thing, it can be hard to get out of that space, or whatever you want to call it. If I swap from doing, you know, stinking Mega Man content to the 1990s Mighty Ducks cartoon content tomorrow, I don't think that would go well for me.
Time to get started.
We can call it a shock to the system.
Commander Sigma is in.
Can definitely call it a shock to the system. Oh, goodness. I really gotta listen, because there's not a huge change in appearance. Darn it. Between level 3 charge and level 4 charge is where I was going with that. Can I beat him? Of course I can. All I need to do is break out the shotgun ice.
So this is what it's like.
Yeah. It is kind of neat that you can go back through and refight the bosses once you're all done.
Mission accomplished.
Would probably be more worthwhile if there was like a score system or something. But hey, can't have everything. Is there anything I want to do yet? Actually, I'm curious about something. We are talking about Gadget from Rescue Rangers, or at least we were. And she is a lovely woman. Do not be jealous. Do not be hating. And I mean, it's definitely, you know, the whole diversifying thing is definitely something worth considering. When I started my channel, right, I was kind of just doing, you know, like mini reviews of whatever random games I was playing every week, right? Will you be up here? You won't be. I kind of still wanted to fight you. But yeah, I think when I did that, I started with like 12 subscribers, and near the end of that, you know, in, you know, my personal arc, I think I ended with about 25 subscribers. So doing just random bullcrap didn't seem to really do too much for me, right? The minute I started focusing, that was when I started seeing like a little bit of traction. But then again, there's a good bit of luck to any of this stuff. So what's gonna work for some people, I don't think is gonna work for everybody. And again, I'm still at like under 1,000 subs on my main channel, so it's not exactly like I'm the expert or anything. Guess the big thing would just be to do whatever you enjoy, because you know what they say, if you do what you enjoy, then even if you don't see a lot of returns, at least you're enjoying yourself. That makes it worth it. But yeah, I'm trying to, like, diversify a little bit. Like, I shouldn't even say diversify. I'm trying to do more, you know, just basic platformer stuff. Seeing if I can get away with just being like, hey, let's talk about, you know, this indie geek platformer this week instead. And they do alright sometimes. Balan Wonderworld review did not do great. But hey, it's Balan Wonderworld. That was a meme, like, you know, years ago, so I'm getting on the train a little late, and it did not go over well. I can't imagine many people in the year of our Lord 2024 being like, you know what I want to hear about? Some rando's opinion on Balan Wonderworld. Oy, oy, oy.
Why have you all fallen in with Sigma?
Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, you do definitely need to watch out for the Sonic stuff. Because I think some of the stuff that has done better for me, at least on, like, the streaming channel, has been specifically, you know, like, the Sonic stuff, right? To the point where it's like, I'd probably be doing pretty alright if I just streamed Sonic, or at least did Sonic more often. The problem with that is, I don't know that I could do that. Like, I like Sonic, just not enough to play it, like, every week. And to also sacrifice my sanity doing some of the, you know, like, the less than stellar games. Every now and again, I'll play a bad Mega Man game, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it and all that jazz. But I feel like those are a bit fewer far in between, as it were. Oh, yeah. And Big Red, I think I remember you specifically coming in when I was fighting Perfect Chaos. Assuming that you were on the streaming channel before the, you know, before my primary channel. Oy, oy. Could be wrong, but I want to say it was Perfect Chaos.
Launch Octopus.
Oy, oy.
Beginning mission.
Yeah, I would like to. I honestly, it probably wouldn't be that hard for me to find more Mega Man stuff to watch. I'm kind of curious as to, like, what the biggest Mega Man, you know, like, specifically Mega Man channel is. I know Jay's Reviews is pretty big. So is, Shadow Rock ZX. And Reploid Reva was. I don't know if that will continue to be the case. We were talking about him a little bit earlier. You know what? Watch. Oh. Wait. Or did I shoot the ball off and it went off screen? Okay, I might know. I'm like, what did I just do? Oh, yeah. Aye, aye, aye. That, Big Red, that is a potato chips situation. You can't name just one bad Sonic game. Aye, aye, aye. I love Sonic to death. He is our precious little blue man. But good God, ever since 06, it's been very, very hit or miss. Bless his soul. Aye, aye. And yeah, that is definitely something that I've seen, you know, I think I talked about him, like, a little bit last week, too. The one guy that does, you know, like, video game theories and all that stuff, Loxton and Noggin, he used to just do, you know, general video game theories and everything like that. Even did a few Mega Man ones that were pretty neat, right? but he like really took off with the Sun and Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon, you know, like the videos he did, he had like some big crazy theories about it. And like ever since then, it's just like, yep, I'm a Pokemon channel now. I'm a Pokemon. Oh yeah.
Launch Octopus! How could you do something?
Oh, okay. Well then, if you didn't comment, I would not be able to tell you. That's just the first time I remember. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I really wish what not. Yeah, I think Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps said this. I think he said something along the lines of, do specific content or something like that. Or, like, build your brand up until you're, like, like, I think he said 100,000 subs. And I think he said at that point, you can just kind of do whatever, because at that point, the people will be there for you. Which, I don't know if that was just something he felt out or what. But, I mean, I kind of get where, what he's talking about. And it gives you something to shoot for. Oy.
Mission accomplished.
I wanted to use my regular Buster on that because I got the Boss Lane Buster. Ay. But yeah, I'm still kind of just figuring all this stuff out. There's a part of me that's still like, I talked about this at the beginning of the year as part of my, whole New Year's resolution thing, but it's like, yeah, I might want to get a webcam and do stuff, like on camera. I might want to get like, some sort of avatar thing, like a VTuber thing, and do that. And I still haven't messed with that, so I still don't know what I want to do fully. But hey, I can at least do Mega Man content, because to me, Mega Man content will never get old. So yeah, there's still like a part of me that, wondering, it's like, do I really want to go for camera stuff? Because what if my looks start tanking? I mean, I am 35 at this point. While I'm not old, I am at least getting older. So there's that nervousness, but like the funny thing is, when I first started my channel, I actually do have some very, some older videos anyway, that does have me on camera. So yeah, when I talked about it, I think one or two people were like, face reveal, and I'm like, my dudes, I have done that like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, if you really want to dig through the archives. I think one of the other things holding me back, though, is if I did an avatar, it would be very weird. And I was given the advice of not, if you're doing camera stuff and the avatar stuff, not to make yourself too different between the two of you. And it's one of those, it's like, well, I mean, I don't have purple skin, so it would be quite the change-up. Purple's my favorite color. Purple is dope. But something, I don't know. I guess maybe one of the smartest advice, and this is something I need to do myself, though, might just be find people who make content that you sort of want to make and see what works for them. Whoops. So yeah, I probably should be watching more Shadow Rock ZX. Whoops. So I think one of my other problems with that is I sometimes worry that I'm gonna watch somebody's video and then, they're either going to do a video that I want to do, and then it's like, well, I can't do this anymore, otherwise, you know, I've already watched it, it'll look like I'm copying, or I will subconsciously, you know, digest what they have told me, and then adapt it, thinking it was my idea.
So, you've made it this far. Looks like Sigma was right about you. You've got
Potential?
Thank you, Aaron.
Tell me what you mean.
For a B-class hunter, you
And more on that in a second. The VTuber thing.
Is that what you mean by potential? I do more than fight.
No. All you do is fight us. There is nothing else.
I'll see if you're operating with respect.
But yeah, like, there's this one content creator, I think he still streams, but he doesn't make scripted videos anymore, but he did a lot of Mega Man stuff. He's called Dookie Shed. And at one point, I wanted to do, like, this whole big, dumb theory on it's like, well, what if the Maverick virus is, like, actually this? What if it's evil energy evolved into Robo-Enza, evolved into, you know, like, then adapted into the Maverick virus, right? And then I was just, like, screwing around one day, and I watched, like, this 4-year-old video, you know, like, actually, it might have been more than 4-year-old video, and he was pretty much just saying the whole thing. I'm like, that wasn't my idea. I just, you know, watched this so long ago.
Mission accomplished.
And I don't know if I'd call them cheat codes. I think, like, the appeal, at this point, I'm just going to kill all of them again. That's just what's going to happen. Maybe I even will. But, you know, like, the thing with VTubers is, one, me worrying about my looks all of a sudden going down the toilet, that's not really a factor with VTubers. Two, there's anonymity, right?
I'm beginning the mission.
So if I one day beat PewDiePie in stinking your subscribers, I don't need to worry about, you know, being recognized in public. So that's, you know, that's like the thing too. Not really, you know, not really a factor right now, of course. And honestly, I'm not arrogant to think that it could ever be, you know, like, would ever be a factor. Like, it's a possibility. But I'm not gonna say it's inevitable or anything. So there's that. And, like, the other thing is, you can, you know, it's like teleworking. When I telework, I can be in my pajamas, I can look, you know, like, I can be unshowered, my hair can be greasy, I can look like a schmuck. And no one needs to know. And it's like the same thing with, you know, like, VTubers. If I have a bad day, if I didn't get around to showering, because, you know, like, like, I'm the sort that doesn't really like, you know, having facial hair, right? But I also have ADHD. So convincing myself, I almost fell off the edge, you didn't see that. Convincing myself to shave is just not something that I do very often. Like, once every 2 weeks, I will be like, okay, alright, it's getting a little itchy, I'm gonna shave this sucker off. But if I were doing it on camera and everything, then all of a sudden I would need to be like... I feel like I'd need to pick a lane, as it were, you know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, you're going to have typically this much facial hair. You're gonna grow a beard, you're gonna be clean shaven all the time, you're gonna keep it just trimmed enough that you have, like, always a 5 o'clock shadow. Which I guess that's more me just... whoops! Imposing restrictions on myself. But hey, a lot of people like consistency, right? You bastard with your snowball. So I don't know, I think there's, like, a lot of appeals to, like, VTuber stuff. Also, I like anime. Is that so wrong? I don't watch a lot of it these days, but I still like anime.
Chill, Penguin. Why?
Why? I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't expect you to understand.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Sorry, I'm getting caught up with chat. I just been kind of walking. Mm-hmm. I think, if I remember correctly, I think he's, like, I think him and Nate Wants to Battle are still doing, like, streams now and again. Because when I was going down, like, the whole, you know, maybe not rabbit hole, But yeah, when I was like watching some of his old videos, I'm like, well, what other channels does he have linked? Is he doing anything anywhere else? And I think I did see some stuff from Doogie Shed. Doogie Shed and Nate Wants to Battle. Which, hey, like, I haven't heard anything from Nate Wants to Battle in a while either, so it's nice to see that he's still doing well. Assuming that when I looked at the channel, I wasn't looking at, like, 3-year-old Let's Plays or anything. I thought you were going for the hook, you bastard. Ay, ay, ay. I will try to remember the name Scoutmaster Demi, and I'll try to look that up. And yeah, you're definitely right. That's like one of the other things I also have to consider. Huh. Who haven't I re-killed? I haven't killed Eagle. We're still at just over 2 hours, so I can go for this for a while. Ay, ay, ay. It's kind of fun. The game is very fun. Ay, ay, ay. Because, yeah, that's, like, something I always consider. The whole, you know, like, what you're saying about playing up the characters. It's, like, one of those things. I'd say that I keep, like, a very even keel for the most part. Honestly, when I was doing Sonic 2, you know, like, last Friday, and I started, like, hyperventilating, playing that up a little bit, somebody was like, dude, chill. I'm just like, I'm just trying to be funny. Am I a little stressed out by all this? Yes, I am. But at the same time, you know, I'm exaggerating a little bit for effect. So it's one of those things, it's like, could I play a goofy, silly character or something like that? Could I be Chuny? I say as if that is not a stinking, you know, like, otaku word. That most people are gonna know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, there's a lot to consider. And again, I have ADHD along with, you know, well, that's not important. The point is, actually taking the time to think some of this through is something I just end up kicking down the road. The overall point is just, yeah, there's a lot to consider when it comes to, you know, like, making a channel and everything. But hey, I think, like, a lot of people, just, you know, another thing to consider is I think, like, a lot of people make channels and then, you know, they'll make new channels. Which is not something I did. I made one channel and then made inconsistent content. Which was probably a bad decision. But hey, we're getting some traction lately, so maybe it's not all bad. I'm going to shoot you with my red buster. Ay, ay. Ay, ay. And I appreciate the permission. Appreciate, ay, ay. Honestly, it's the sort of thing that I would think that I wouldn't really have to try too hard, though. When I say that I have ADHD and then I stop myself short, the other thing is autism. I'm typically just quirky whether I want to be or not. Sometimes I wish I weren't. Damn it. He just keeps on doing the straight across. Okay, there we go. Ay, ay, ay. How many are you gonna throw out? I can't believe I almost dodged all of that. He got me on, like, the third one. How are you not dead? Ay, ay, ay. I don't really think... Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I just don't think it's the sort of thing that I could very, very, you know, wittily do, you know? I was gonna say, do I not have this? There we go. Like, I have enough trouble reading people normally. But then again, I guess the problem with that is I'm just assuming that I should take that sort of thing seriously. But yeah, no, not a bad idea. Honestly, those sorts of quizzes were really popular back, you know, when I was first on the internet. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, he's gonna suck me in. No, he blew. He blew. I mean, he more red, but you know. Like, I think... And I don't know why this would affect me. Well, I think it was like a few reasons. But I attribute at least parts of my love of Gardevoir on like an internet quiz, because my gosh, that's like, they're like, you're a Gardevoir, and I'm like, I am a Gardevoir. This is acceptable to me. And then it got really weird because the, you know, the forum that I was on, the Mega Man forum, way back when, had like a friend on there who was very, very into Gardevoir in, you know, like the weird way, right? And he seemed to get like a little hot and bothered when I was like, yeah, I got Gardevoir. He's just like, listen, man, we're buds. I like you a whole heckin' lot. I just don't like you that way. Ay, ay, ay.
Launch Octopus?
I am Launch Octopus. I am under orders to deal with any
Mm-hmm. Da-da-da-da-da.
Sigma must have brought his body back to life.
I have been ordered to fight.
Ay, ay, ay. Kinda reading between the lines on that one thing you said. But yeah, ay, ay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong, well... I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's a lot of misconceptions out there that, you know, people seem to think that having autism is a horrible thing. I kind of think that Autism Speaks has a lot to do with that. But yeah, you just kind of think differently. Honestly, I feel like it's one of those things that has served me well after I left schooling. Sort of thing that I got, you know, I picked on a lot in school, but once I was out, a lot of people are like, oh, you are so silly. So I don't know. I might have got a return on investment on mine. But hey. Manifests differently for different people, so that might not be the norm. Why am I not using... I'm just trying to swap my shoulders. Listen, you bastards. Listen, you bastards. He already respawned. Oh, yoy, yoy. Okay. Trying to find a chance to look at chat, but my gosh, I am just a little too engaged with this. Because I feel like something silly probably got said. Darn it! The slowdown got rid of my dash. You know what? I'm just gonna pause a second. Aye. Yeah, it's definitely more obvious with some than others. That's like the whole thing with like the whole spectrum thing, right? I mean, my mom was talking about how, and she's like, oh man, I wish you could have met him. I think it was like somebody from work, their kid's autistic, and he was, you know, nonverbal. And she said about how he's like really intelligent, really friendly, you know, like super nice kid and everything, but he just wouldn't talk. Like, I think he, you know, like communicated more by writing things down. So, you know, I think that's one of those things that it's not always as easy to tell as you expect. And I also think it's like the sort of thing that, you know, like attracts like, if you know what I mean, right? Where you might sort of gravitate towards, you know, somebody who has, you know, like a similar, you know, similar situation to yourself just because it's one of those, like, well, you know, I can relate to them more. Like, I mean, I personally am very, very white, right? So I don't think until, you know, until I kind of, you know, was like, you know, how do I want to put this? I wasn't officially diagnosed. I just talked to a shrink who specialized it for, you know, like, for a while, like several months. And then at the end of our session, you know, like, I didn't take an official, you know, evaluation or anything, but she's just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you have this. And I was like, oh, thank you, God, so much for clarifying. That's been bugging me for, like, the longest time, right? But yeah, like, I never really thought about how important, you know, representation was until I got that. And whenever, you know, like, I find a character who it's like, oh, they're probably autistic. That's, like, you know, that gets me, like, really excited personally. Like, the one that stands out to me is Yuri from Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't think I noticed it, you know, like when I first played the game, but when they did like the extra stuff, like the expanded edition, there was some stuff in there. I'm like, some of the things she's talking about sounded a little familiar, and then I like looked it up, and someone is like, yes, she's probably autistic, specifically Asperger's, which I think we're supposed to call something different now, but I'm not hip with the times. And I was like, I feel vindicated. So yeah, totally get what you're saying there. You're gonna come over one more. Okay. All your babies. Oh! You're... Darn it, I was slow. But you're making it real easy on me. Oi. There we go. Da-da-da-da-da.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, well, as long as you're not a dick about it, you know, it doesn't really matter to me, honestly. And yeah, like, the funny thing was, I actually was, as, like, a child, like, my ADHD was officially diagnosed, right? And yet, despite that, like, nobody ever picked up on, like, the autism thing. It was something that kind of, you know, like, became aware of much later in life. And then, you know, now, you know, my mom, she'll, like, look up stuff on it and everything, and she'll be like, yeah, okay, I read about this with autism. And yeah, she's pretty much going over about how, like, all the signs were there, and yet, you know, like, nobody was aware of it, right? Which I think kind of frustrates her. I mean, I don't mind having autism, but I do wish it had been diagnosed, because there's, like, a lot of things that I think about with, like, school, which would have been slightly easier had I been aware. Like, I remember, you know, I've been thinking about, like, this one instance. When I was in, I want to say, yeah, I think it was 5th grade. I don't feel like putting up with your shit, Armadillo. Yeah, he got tied into, I think, Nazi stuff, so I don't think we use that term. I really should look up what the, you know, what the new thing is. But yeah, like when I was in 5th grade, I would do this, like, this thing, right? Where I would just take apart my pen. And sometimes, you know, I'd lose the spring, it'd fly, you know, like it'd fly off or something like that, or, you know, I just wouldn't have my pen ready when I was supposed to. And my teacher used to get, like, really pissed at me for doing that, right? And, you know, it's like one of those things I look back on, and it's like, oh, I was stimming. Okay. And then I'll also be like, oh, that stupid thing I do with my hands. Yeah, that's just a thing that I guess we do. I think the thing that I drove my mom crazy, though, was she told, like, she had this friend, and we were friends with, you know, like, me and my brother, we were friends with her kids, right? So we hung out with, you know, like, this family unit a good bit, right? And, you know, whenever I got my unofficial diagnosis, the first person I, like, called to tell, like, I did not even, like, get back to my car. I was like, you know, I immediately called and told my mom, right? But then she said she told, like, her, you know, like, her one friend that we used to see quite often. And, like, her response was, oh, yeah, I always knew that Wesley had autism. And, like, both of our responses were just, really? And you didn't think to share with the class? I think that was the frustrating bit. But then again, she could very easily have been bullshitting. A lot of people say that they know something when they don't, just to sound smart after the fact. I might die. Storm frickin' Eagle. Maybe I should have just gone into a... No, the vial thing would have taken too long. I might do a vial thing at some point, though. Ay, ay, ay. Honestly, well, if you really wanted to perpetuate a stereotype, what you'd be into would be trains. That's like one of those things whenever I talk about, because like I freaking love Charge Man, right? Whenever I talk about how much like I love Charge Man, I'm always worried that it's gonna come across as it's like, yup. Hyperfixation on trains. How original. It's like, I don't really, like, I'm not super into trains. I just think Charge Man's awesome. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just funny to me. Ay, ay.
So it begins. Step in a battle.
But yeah, that's like one of those things that I do kind of wonder if neurotypicals like actually understand. Which I'm sure that's going to sound gatekeepy and condescending. But, you know, like the term hyperfixation gets thrown around a lot, right? But I think it's one of those things, it's like, do you understand that when I say that I like Mega Man, that I, like, really like Mega Man? That sort of thing. Like, I kind of feel like, you know, the hyperfixation thing, it's a very unique joy, and that's, like, one of the benefits to having it. So, it would be nice if everybody were able to have that in their life. Hyperfixation. I think it's great. And yeah, you liking Sonic and Lego? I think that's great. Ay, ay. Whoops. I almost said whoops again. Okay, that was a whoops. What do I do here? Do I shotgun ice him? I already killed him normally. Do I give him the benefit of a fair fight?
Let's get started.
Well, you say. Well. I missed. Like a dingus. Oh gosh, I was gonna say, I was about to dash on it. No, I did get hit by him. Ay. Oh gosh, I forgot he had that attack. I thought he was just gonna be monkey. I was kind of hoping. Oh my gosh. I'm like, am I gonna lose the Spark Mandrill? Is me just trying to show off by using my fancy red buster going to make me die to Spark frickin' Mandrill? Ay. Hey, trains are neat. And yeah, you saying that, Blues, it kind of almost makes me wonder if it isn't... If it isn't that, like, you know, the hyperfixation thing might not be all that unique. It might just be a combination of, one, maybe it's just easier to develop them when you're autistic, or two, I do know that, you know, like, that neurotypical is like, there are a lot, especially in older generations, who are like, oh, well, da-da-da-da-da-da, you can't... like, act your age and everything, so it might just not be that people are incapable of it, it just might be that some people are unwilling to at least be openly obsessed with something because they consider it childlike. So maybe that's it. Like I said, I think it'd be pretty neat if everybody could just, you know, like, have at least one thing that they are super obsessed with that gives them more joy in the world than frickin' anything. I think that's great. I think he's gonna take so much damage that I just want to use the damn Chameleon Sting. It's not that I don't love ya, Rongdabonga, because I do. I do a whole heckin' lot. But, like, come on. This can't be the rest, you know, like, the remainder of the night, you know? They're both broken. Okay. I think I got him. Ay.
Mission accomplished.
Oh man, that's just like in general, I think. Well, yeah, I think that's just like in general. My god, it's a lot easier to learn things when you're invested. And unfortunately, it's a lot easier to be invested and interested in, you know, things that have no actual real-world application. Like, my gosh, they barely even, you know, they barely even touch video game stuff on frickin' Jeopardy! So I can't even say that my obscure knowledge might somehow, you know, win me a crap ton of money on a game show someday. Ay. And yeah, I think I've heard that, like, sometimes with hyperfixation, some people, they'll focus on, like, one thing in particular, and other people, they will constantly be, you know, like, falling in and out of love, as it were, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's that weird if you're not into some things as much as you used to be. And hey, like I said, whatever makes you happy, pretty much. At least whatever makes you happy, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, which I don't think Sonic and Lego will. So more power to you. Oh, man. And here I tried to snake it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, sniped him right as he came over. Yeah! Ay. Ay. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. I'm just remembering you saying, oh, yeah, the selective memory thing. There have been times that I've, like, gone off on things, like Mega Man or Pokemon, and then my mom's just, like, you know, she sighed and been like, you coulda, you know, like, with the amount of time you spent on this, you coulda had, like, a college degree. And it's like, yeah, well... Yeah, well... Doesn't really give me crap for that too much these days, so... She might have gotten wise that it's more, you know, more just how my brain works. Darn you. Let me shoot you. This is my... Yeah, this is my brother's favorite boss in these games. I think he's a bit of a pain in the ass. If I'm fighting someone, I want to be able to counterattack. Really threaded the I literally threaded some needles. Goodness me. I don't want to lose to him. Should I just use his damn weakness? Maybe. Maybe. Oh god. There we go. I didn't lose to him. It's fine. Ay, ay, ay. Mm-hmm. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, never... I think I missed the boat on Jujutsu Kaisen. But there have definitely been some stuff that I've been like that, you know, some anime I've been oddly obsessed with. Love Dragon Ball, will never not love Dragon Ball. Was pretty into Gundam and Code Geass back in the day. I would still engage with Code Geass. Gundam, there's just a lot of it, so it can be hard to keep up with. So yeah, definitely get that. Definitely get that. It's also nice when you can get away with using that sort of stuff for social things. And not get treated like a weirdo. Ay, ay, ay. I think when I was in elementary school, I was one of, like, only 3 kids who actually like Power Rangers, and everybody else was like, no way. Which, hey, I think, like, literally everywhere else in the United States love frickin' Power Rangers, so I guess I was just born in the wrong area for that. Power Rangers still get a lot of love. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. When they adapt... when they adapt engineering into, you know, a manga or anime, Mom, maybe I will. I mean, I think they have, like, adapted the Bible or, you know, like a few oddball things in the manga. So some people have, you know, have had the sense to actually do something like that, come to think of it. You're gonna... Oh, you're not gonna bonk me. I'm gonna get away with it. I'm not gonna have the life to fight Baba. Unless... You're tempting me, but no, I'm just gonna fight him. Ay, ay, ay.
Zero!
Mm-hmm.
You're no different than Zero. You worry about Sigma when you should.
Ay, ay. Sometimes I remember my immediate family's birthdays. Cousins, I would not, and I always like feel bad about that sometimes. Where it's like, oh, it's your birthday. I do that. Ay ay ay.
What? Zero! You're harder to destroy than I thought.
It is not the most offensive thing I've heard. You're fine, Aaron. Also, like,
There's nothing more you can do. It's over.
Like, I could be wrong, but from what I hear about, you know, like, from what I hear other people talk about autism, it almost seems like the thing with that is it normally has a tag-along.
Zero.
If that makes sense. You know, like, the common combo does seem to be my whole ADHD autism, right? But honestly, it would not surprise me if someone were to have both autism and OCD. I didn't even realize he was shooting. I'm like, wait, I got him? No, 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 he got you. OCD though, that that one just strikes me as rough just because one needing things to be exactly right. Sometimes I get a little obsessive. I don't think it quite crosses over into what you're talking about, right? But you know, liking to have things a certain way. I know it can get very frustrating when, you know, it's not. So having something that made it so that, you know, like you were really, really like that, my gosh, I can only imagine. I mean, I think you've also told me how you find it annoying how, you know, like some people be like, oh my gosh, I have such, you know, OCD just because they like things like a certain way, but it's not actually like compulsion. Which, yeah, definitely get that. Honestly, I think there's, like, some of that with ADHD. People are just like, oh my gosh, sometimes I'm thinking about one thing, and then sometimes I'm thinking about another thing. Barely one, but still counts. Ay.
Zero!
Mm-hmm.
Hang in there, buddy!
X, I'm always telling
Yeah, if you're obsessed with something that, you know, that's cool, then yeah, it can be a boon, for sure.
Don't waste your energy talking, Zero. We gotta fix
I have a
you
few
up.
channels I can suggest the next time you're around, Aaron.
No time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sigma is close. Very close.
Zero.
Go now. Maverick Hunter X.
Well, maybe if your client was more interesting, like Flygon. I think my brother was, just random note. Legend ZA. I think, like, one of the people that, one of the things that Sam wants to see, my brother, he's like, they're gonna finally give Flygon a Mega Evolution. And I'm just like, okay, I would be down for that, but darn it, I thought I could, I'm going to die. Oh, I thought I'd get under it. Ay.
I come.
And to answer your question 3, Rayquaza, I believe he has died 3 times. He's died once here, once in X5. But did he really die? I whiffed my shot. I whiffed my shot horribly. And then there's the final time he dies. I might just have to say, screw you, no courtesy. I'm using the... No, I can pull this back around. I can fix him. But yeah, I might have lost my train of thought. Not that I'm obsessed with trains or anything. Whoops. Whoops. And there we go. D-Rex is dead. I am not going to Buster only Sigma. I am not going to Buster only Sigma, although I guess if we've killed everyone else again, we're doing him too.
Mission
Ay,
accomplished.
ay, ay. Well, the problem with looking up, ay, ay, ay. Yes, 04. I'm sorry, did I not finish that thought? Ay, ay, ay.
I'm beginning the mission.
Oh no, I think I alluded to it. Alluded. But yeah, the problem with like looking up when Pokemon learn levels are that they change, right? I wanted to swap to Shotgun Ice.
I see a new clarity in your
We need to watch this again. No, I think everyone was around when I talked to Sigma before, and he's like, I'm looking into your beautiful anime eyes, X. Darn it. Ay, ay, ay. This guy, I don't think this is the one. Frickin' whatever his name is giving me issues. Listen, man. Ay, ay, ay.
Impressive, X.
Okay. I don't think I finished that thought, but if I had, I was gonna say the problem is you could have been right like 5 generations ago. But hey, if you're just right, that's cool too. I shot it the wrong way, he hit me with his sword. Yell at me, Sigma. Siggy, my sweetie. Although if I can keep him on the floor, I think that's actually better for me. Because then I don't have to deal with his... newfangled, like... sword dive. Maybe I just go for it. Maybe I just go for it. Maybe I am in the zone. Ay, ay, ay. On the plus side with Pokemon, I don't think Pokemon will never not at least be somewhat popular. I'm trying to remember. I kind of think I know who I'm thinking of. But I remember one VTuber I watched saying something along the lines of Pokemon is how you can chat up people in like Japan or at least in other languages in general. All you need to do is be like, oh, do you know what this guy's name is in English? So you know what? Pokemon knowledge might not be as irrelevant as you think. I should have gone the other way. I'm such a dingus. I can run. Are you... Oh, okay. I keep on panicking that he's gonna do the spark thing, and he is not doing the spark thing. Like, Pokemon still is, like, the biggest anything ever. Which is still so damn funny to me. Because my mom talks about how, you know, like, when we were kids and Pokemon first came out, she remembers, like, thinking specifically, well, this'll be a fad. They're not gonna care about this in 5 years. And it's like, you know, how long has Pokemon been around at this point? It's been like 25, like 30 years? And, you know, she'll say that and she'll be like, yup, I sure was wrong about that. Only 2 sub-tanks on hard mode, you bitch. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I'd like to go to Japan sometime too. So, yeah, like you said, any other weeb. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay. Thing I just worry about is food. because I like Japanese culture, I like anime, I like the video games they make, but I do not like, I do not have the palate for Japanese food. So I could see myself just going with other people to Japan and being like, oh, hey, you guys are going to get sushis? Great. I am going to hit up McDonald's for like the 5th time this weekend. Ay, ay, ay.
My name is Thomas Light. I am the researcher who designed and built Mega Man X.
Hokkaido? You mean Sinnoh and Hisui?
I granted X special powers that no other robot.
And Rayquaza, you take that back.
Utilizing his conscience,
Legends ZA is coming out in 2025. We're not getting a Pokemon game in 2024.
that he is also imbued with the materials
Although, my gosh, it really says something about the state of Pokemon when, they announce that they're not putting a Pokemon game out this year, but they're waiting, like, an extra year. And people are like, oh, thank God. Oh.
To ensure the safety of the X project.
Like, love Pokemon to death, but I hated Sword and Shield, and as much, like, I really, really liked Scarlet Violet, right? But even I'm not gonna defend, some of the corners they cut with that thing.
But I am not without worry.
I think I heard that Japanese McDonald's is epic. There was, Jaden Animation, she did a video on Japan recently, and I think she made a point where she says something about how, like, we have the Big Mac, but Japan has, like, the frickin' double Big Mac or something like that. Which I guess that means that that's bigger than, different than a double Quarter Pounder. But, still funny to me. Like, McDonald's just feels like one of those things that is super, super American. So them having, like, bigger burgers than us or whatever over there is just... It might cross into irony territory. It might cross into irony territory. Oh. Yeah, same with me. I don't think it was as popular, but a lot of people still played Pokemon in elementary school, and then when Gen 2 came around, a lot of people fell off of Pokemon. Place where I live is not the nerdiest, so it's kind of surprising it even lasted that long, and then, you got picked on for liking Pokemon still. But, yeah, Like, the funniest thing for Pokemon with me, though, is retreading an old story again. When Pokemon first came out, I had no idea what the hell it was. Like, Blues, I don't remember if you recall, like, some of the early commercials for Pokemon, but it was, like, dumb stuff, right? Like, I remember this, all these Pokemon sitting around, and all of a sudden they just get sucked up by a vacuum. And, like, the vacuum has a face, and he's like, gotcha! And then, you get the tagline, Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. And then there was another one where there was, like, a bus driver, right? And a bus driver, he's just driving the bus, and, like, Pikachu gets on, and, he gets back in, he, like, takes a seat, and a bunch of other Pokemon are also on the bus. And he takes it and drives it into a car compactor, like a garbage compactor, right? And he crushes it down, and then he walks to where it is, and it's just the Game Boy there. And he picks it up, and, of course, there's Pokemon in the Game Boy. And I'm just like, what the hell is this game? So I had no interest in Pokemon. And then, unprompted, for Christmas one year, my brother and I got Blue, he was gifted Red. And so I played it, and then I just got obsessed with it. And I think my mom got really depressed when I told her about that when, I was an adult. And I'm like, you do know that the reason, do know that the person that got me into Pokemon is you. And I think at the time she thought I was a little too into Pokemon, so she's like, that's kind of depressing. Oh, yeah. Oh, and this is on the PSP. I got my fancy wires hooked up. Off and on, I will collect Pokemon cards, right? Like, there have been arcs for Pokemon cards. right? When they first came out, of course. Though I fell off a little bit partway through Gen 2. And then when Gen 4 came out, I got, like, huge into it again. I think in part, it was because I found people to play Gen 2 with. Well, no, Gen 4 with. So, you know, I just had people to play those, you know, play the TCG and everything, right? So I got into it again really big then, too. Then Sun and Moon came out, and Sun and Moon, like I've said, you know, I think I said last week, favorite gen, so of course I got into the cards for that again, right? Then, you know, I got into it a little bit with Scarlet and Violet, started falling off, but then I saw that they were doing an, you know, like an Hisui expansion, which DLC probably was not worth the money. Don't think I'm defending it, but I did really love Ogerpon and Hisui. Ay. So I might be getting into the Pokemon cards again, I guess is what I'm saying. Ay. Gotcha. Ay. And if you, if Gen 3 was... You know what they say about Pokemon? Typically, you know, whatever your first gen was tends to be, like, what your favorite is, which is why we got so many stinking Gen 1ers. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember what you said your, you know, what your favorite was. Your favorite Pokemon, if you were a Gen 3. Because I always just, you know, when I hear Gen 3, again, you know, to bring her up again, Jaden Animations, her, like, favorite Pokemon hands down is Blaziken. And it's one of those, like, yeah, you got into it during Gen 3, didn't you? Ay. I think the longer you're into Pokemon, the easier it is to maybe like different, you know, gens other than the one you started with. Ay. One friend who's in the chat, Aaron, I think he's... Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong. Garvantula, is that your favorite still? You don't know about Ogerpon? It's everybody's favorite new Pokemon. It's really cool. It's really... That's another one that I streamed, the first DLC thing. I think it's titled Pokemon Violet, I Love Mask, if you want to check it out. But yeah, it's like the DLC legendary, Ogerpon. Yes, Espeon. Okay, so you're both stinking Eevee fans, which is cool. My gosh. Sometimes I almost wonder if they regret not making Eevee the stinking, you know, the mascot. Although they almost... You know what?
My name is Thomas Light.
I don't know how long we're gonna keep going. I might call it after this. We will watch Day of Sigma one more time if we're gonna just keep on talking. For a little bit. Ay. But yeah, they almost made, like, Clefairy the stinking mascot. Which I always wonder what the world would look like if they had gone through with that. Gen 1, okay.
Next, you copy. Fire at will once the target is in range.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think we talked about Charizard last time, where I think I wouldn't mind it so much, but it gets shoved down our throats so, you know, like, so often. It's a little ridiculous. Ay. And times 4 to Rock? He loses half his HP to Stealth Rock? What's the deal with that? Although Volcarona and Talonflame do the same. Ay. Yeah, like, the Gen 1 thing, though, also drives me crazy because... My sister, who, I don't know, like, the first time she played Pokemon. I kind of want to say her first game was either Fire Red or Leaf Green. So I guess it's kind of Gen 1, kind of Gen 3. But yeah, like, I haven't talked to her about it lately, but there was, like, a period where Sam and I, we talk about, like, Pokemon. It's like, oh, would you like to get into Pokemon? Da-da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, well, I don't want to because there's just too many of them. How am I supposed to collect them all? And then I'd say, like, I won't name names. I'll call her Sis. Sis, did you, you know, like, back when it was only 150, did you complete your Pokédex? She's like, well, no. And I'm like, okay, then it shouldn't matter. Ay. Yeah, any RPG's rough when you can't read. I get that for sure. But yeah, ay. And I think my sister also broke Sam a little bit because she didn't get far into it. But we at least convinced her to try out Sun and Moon, right? I can't remember. I think she got Moon. But at the end of the like, you know, near the end of the first island, she found and caught a shiny Rufflet. And at that point, like, I don't think Sam had ever seen a natural shiny, right? And I remember just, like, you know, looking over her shoulder when she was, like, you know, when she encountered this Rufflet, and I was like, that Rufflet looks a little different. And then I, like, called Sam over. I'm like, Sam, is that a shiny Rufflet? And he's like, oh, holy crap. Like, I think it psychically damaged him. And I was like, sister, please catch that. Please catch that. So, yes, like, the person who never played Pokemon somehow found a natural shiny in, like, you know, the first hour or two of her playing, like, her first Pokemon game in frickin' years. It was... It's still funny. It's still funny. Next time Sam's on, I gotta get him to talk about that.
I won't let you push my friends around like that! Get the generator! Help me!
Also, paying attention to what's on screen.
The generator, X! Shoot the generator!
Do it, X! Do it! You're the only one! This seems like the sort of thing that they would have used, you know, like an established Mechanoid for this scene, doesn't it? Rather than something I don't think I've literally ever fought? No. I was thinking for a second. I'm like, this isn't the thing that I fight in X8, is it? No. That's a crab. That is a very large crab. Ay. Shiny Ghastly, oh dear. The point of Shiny Ghastly is to get a shiny Gengar, because, you know, ay. Shiny Gengar is... I don't want to say it's lame, but it does kind of suck how slight the change is.
X. It was my fault I let that Mechanoid get a hold of me.
Speaking of Megas, that's like one of those reasons why I am so excited for, you know, Legends ZA. Because they bring Megas back, and my gosh, like, I've had a shiny Gardevoir that I love to death. It was like, you know, I raised that thing up as if it were my child, that I've just left in my copy of X specifically because it's one of those, like, well, if she can't become, you know, shiny Mega Gardevoir with, like, you know, the black funeral dress, that takes a lot of the appeal out.
That our compatriot would have been hit by the blast, correct?
Yes, Commander.
Listen well, X.
Oh dear.
There are times when we Maverick hunters cannot hesitate in pulling the trigger.
What is the latest Pokemon game that you played, Blues? If you know, if I may ask, I guess that's not exactly a hugely personal question, because there are techniques for getting it without too much trouble in yeah, Scarlet Violet, I think. But yeah, the shiny Graveler thing, one VTuber I used to watch until, you know, until she left. She did like a playthrough. of the Gen 4 remakes, and she found a shiny Graveler, and she had mixed feelings because she was not a fan. I believe her exact words were I believe her exact words were, "He looks like a poop."
Errors, short circuits in the electronic brain. The very things that give us red
Oy,
blood
oy,
enhanced
oy.
processing power could also be our greatest weakness.
Yeah, you can kind of, I think you can kind of manipulate, breakouts for that.
Vile. Looks like he must have caused a ruckus again.
So if you want shinies, you can get shinies. I think it's something like, how many do you have to knock out? For max shiny odds, I think you need to not, it's either 30 or 60 with a mass outbreak, right? And you'll have max shiny odds. And I think as long as you don't leave the area, the odds stay at max. So I think the technique is you're supposed to get it up to like the 30 or 60.
There's been a lot of
Then, look around, see if the shiny's there. Go just far enough that it despawns a lot of the Pokemon, then come back and look at them again. And you just do that until you spot the shiny. And the other technique is, if it's a big mass outbreak. I did this to get a lot of the shiny Litwicks, Milcery, and Flabebe. Especially since some of those are really hard to notice.
He worries too much.
You can just, you can use your auto battle. And if there's a Pokemon that your Pokemon just absolutely refuses to knock out, that means it's a shiny.
When I found that robot, X, sealed away so long ago, I utilized his design concept.
Oh my goodness, I get that. I have around 150 games on my backlog. I continue to buy more, and then I'll just continually to, I'll continue to play Mega Man games. Like, obsessively.
That is the source of his great potential.
Pokemon, I might play more if it wasn't for the fact that I don't like the idea of getting rid of old save files.
Well, I suppose it might be.
Although I'll play if I like a game, like one of the entries enough, I will just play it into the ground, just grinding up level 100s and the like.
Of course, we don't know yet.
Oh, yeah. So I suppose we are similar in some ways. I suppose we are similar.
I've extended my life as long as possible to see
But I'm trying to, at least if I'm buying new games, to make them like indie platformers or something, because then I can stream them. Unless we have like a come from behind victory, on the poll, I think I'm playing, Spark the Electric Jester this Friday, so I'll be able to knock that off of my backlog while getting content out of it. Hey,
oh man, I missed 5%.
Gotcha.
5%. That's very good, Zero.
Like, one of the things Sam and I talked about one stream, though, with like the whole backlog thing was,
with the automated defense system complete, they trimmed down my tour.
Like, there was something I saw on Twitter where somebody was like, I can't remember how big they said their backlog was. I think it might have been like 25 games, and somebody like jumped in there being like, how the hell, like, you buy games and you don't play them? And then, like, the replies to that were just, I have this many games on my backlog. I have this many games on my backlog. I have this many games on my backlog.
So there was no one inside? It was being controlled remotely?
I wish. And honestly, I think I would only need to get my backlog down once, right? Because if you get it down once, I mean, maybe you build it back up, like, in a rush with a sale or something. But then you just need to keep pace with it.
The signal has been camouflaged by
I feel kinda... Maybe I shouldn't say feel bad for my brother. He makes me feel a little guilty, though. Because he likes JRPGs and everything. And he'll be like, why haven't you, why haven't you beaten, like the Golden Deer route in 3 Houses? Why haven't you beaten, Fire Emblem Echoes? Why haven't, oh, yeah, you'll never play Persona 5 even though you have a copy. And just one of those, it's like, listen, man, I'm sure I'll enjoy these games a whole heckin' lot. Actually, I already know I enjoyed 3 Houses. The problem is, I could play through, like the 40 to 100 hour game, Fire Emblem 40, Persona, 100, or I could play through like, like 8 different platformers in that time. Oh, yeah. Don't you talk to me about Xenoblade. Honestly, I have...
No dice. I'm afraid that whatever data
I
was here
have
must be
Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on, the Wii. I went out of my way when it was hard to find to get it. My brother has gotten a newer copy on Switch that I could easily borrow for the expanded port. I got the special editions of Chronicles X. I have a copy of 2, and I have a copy of 3. And that's one of those games that's like, boy, I really hope I like this, because I have, you know, hundreds of hours to play in the series. I think I can retire because I started working early enough with, like, my current job in my early 50s.
Now a fugitive. Storm Eagle Company begin searching the area.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, when I am retired, I am going to kick my backlog's ass. Ay, ay, ay. Sigma has some thoughts on this.
Storm Eagle Company Troop A has been requested to move to point 449 in Sector 28 West.
Please be patient. We're still tracing the signal. I think Vile is being punished. We're all ready. You've reached Hunter Base.
I just noticed that one of them said, I think Vile's being punished, and then I think he started complaining about them being short-staffed. Yeah, no, just let the psychopath out. We are so desperate for personnel, we will let the guy that is just like, you know, a danger to pretty much all of society. Just to cover a shift. It's Vava. Ay. Currently, the backlog is boss. But one day, I will be that boss. I think like one of the other appeals though of just shorter games is it's so easy, you know, like I think it's similar with television show, like watching TV and stuff, right?
You think whoever's behind this has a different goal in mind?
Because like I've noticed a few times I have a much smaller backlog of books and TV shows, right? And movies too. And I've noticed there's been like several times when it's just like, oh, what should I, you know, like, I don't feel like playing or reading anything. What should I watch? I want to knock one of those off, right? And I'll be like, I could watch the 2-hour movie, or I could just watch a few episodes of this TV show. And then I'll, you know, gravitate towards the TV show, and I will watch more than 2 hours worth of that television show. I find an appeal in having, you know, like, control over your portions, if that makes sense. So I think that's one of the other reasons why I continue to just be like, yeah, no, Mega Man, I can beat it in, you know, like an average of 2 hours. Some of the early games I can beat in 1. Some of the, you know, some of the beefier games I can beat in 3. Average of 2.
Well, no matter who did it, it seems fairly obvious that they have incredible combat skills. Each and every blow is directed at a weak spot.
Well, it depends on JRPGs. Some of them like to yak your, you know, your ears off. Some of them are much easier to pick up.
You think whoever's responsible made
honestly, like one of the things that like that blew my mind was I played the, you know, the first Dragon Quest, like a remake of it recently, right? And I think I cleared that sucker in under 10 hours. And I think my exact reaction was something like, wait, I beat a Dragon Quest game in under 10 hours? I wasn't even using speedrun strats? JRPGs, love them to death. They are a commitment. And yeah, the portion thing, you know, I think that's also why I love Pokemon so much. Because, you know, it's going to take you a little bit. It's going to take you, like, you know, 20, 25 hours to slam through a Pokemon game. But then after that, it's just like, I just want to kind of, you know, burn some time. What if I just grinded Pokemon for, you know, like a few hours? What if I popped Pokemon up and I just, you know, kind of fiddled with it while I, you know, watched or did something else?
How they managed to camouflage their location.
Like, Pokemon is a great time killer.
Commander Sigma, headquarters told us they were having trouble contacting you.
Ah, yes. I had to deactivate my transmitter to maintain cover. Of course, none of that matters now.
Commander Sigma! Zero!
Tell me, how did you figure it out?
The
Well, I heard you turn your beam saber on.
Not many Reploids have specs that high. It wasn't hard to put two and two together. That's why I was
Also,
ready for
there's
your
only
attack
so many
just now.
Reploids I know that could murder a room full of other people.
But it is X who deserves my admiration.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, Siggy. For a guy that's fighting for, you know, like, Reploid independence and Robo supremacy, you kill an awful lot of, you know, your own people. But I guess this would probably get a higher, you know, like, rating if he were dismembering actual humans. It's a bit easier to get away with it if you only see, you know, like, you know, some oil and some busted circuit boards.
Yes. You can't do it, can you, X?
Yeah, some of them do more with the story than others. Sword and Shield, the story was pretty much non-existent. But I imagine that came as a response to people complaining for how long the cutscenes were in Sun and Moon. Which, yeah, there was a good bit of reading there. Still felt bad for Pokemon, though. You know, they spend years just recycling the same plot over and over again, and then, you know, people make fun of them for it. They try and do something different, and then people all of a sudden say there's too much text. Definitely went a little overboard with Sun and Moon, but hey, I felt engaged.
Will you sacrifice the city or shoot me? Perhaps it's time you laid down your arms.
When you say the online stuff is shutting down, does that include Bank? Should I save some Pokemon? Is that how I need to spend my weekend, just retrieving some of my shinies?
Why? Why are you doing this?
For our future, X. I believe that it's time we put Reploid potential to the ultimate test.
Yeah, I really want to replay 5. And I think my brother would probably, I think he'd be down for doing that with me, you know, maybe on stream, maybe otherwise. Because, like, I shouldn't say the problem with 5. My problem that I had with 5, which is totally a me thing, is because they, you know, replaced all the Pokemon and put in, like, a completely new set so that you didn't see any old Pokemon until after the game, you know, like, after post-game, that's the word I'm looking for. It just felt like a very well-made fan game to me, so it didn't feel quite like Pokemon. So I wasn't able to get into it at the time, right?
46 seconds until missile contact.
At this point, 1, I realize that is stupid and dumb as hell, and 2, the Gen 5 Pokemon are so established in my mind that I'd never look at them and be like, this isn't Pokemon, these aren't real Pokemon.
Mankind's arrogance?
No. Dr. K, no! Yeah, I'll look into that. Because I definitely, I have some baby boos I want to save. Honestly, you know, like my very special Gardevoir, I definitely want to save her. Let's see, I'm trying to think of, there's a Lilligant I want to save. What all special shinies did I get in Gen 6? No, wait, Gen 7? Gen 6, yeah. Probably a few that I want from, yes. Yeah, well, great. Luckily, one of the best ways to get things done when you have ADHD is by giving yourself a deadline. So, you know, if I know it's only a few days, that might help. I will immediately go Google, you know, Pokemon Bank shutting down after this to see if we get, like, a hard and fast date.
X. You called me X. Is that my name?
That's right. It's a variable. It represents limit.
Maybe. You might be right there. There was just, there was a lot of messiness with Gen 7. I feel like Gen 7 was very, very, I don't know what devices, though, you know, it wasn't the best received.
Doctor? You look tired.
I think some people were weirded out by the Ultra Beast, and then, my gosh, there were all those people whining for Pokemon Stars on the Switch.
That's why I'm afraid.
Never mind that not a lot of people were able to find a Switch because it was the hot new thing, and that would have bumped the game up from $40 to $60.
They may very well view
No, we definitely need it on the latest hardware.
as something to be feared.
Ay, ay,
The
ay.
name X also carries connotations of danger.
On the 8th, holy...
I'm sorry, X.
So next Monday. Okay, I guess I know what I'm doing this weekend. Thank you, Big Red. I really appreciate that. It would have passed me by, and I would have been like, my babies, they're locked. My babies.
Evolve as you fight.
So yeah, I guess I'm shelling out for bank, and I guess I'm shelling out for home.
Doctor,
That's fine.
I'll use this power to fight for justice, to fight for hope.
But yeah,
I believe it to
and
be
yeah.
so. X.
Yeah, I kind of figured Legends would be a thing given how well it went over. I could honestly have, that seemed like the sort of thing they were testing the waters with, and hey, it did well, so, you'd be stupid not to capitalize on it.
Farewell, X. You are the world's one.
I was just, wondering how long it would take. Was worried that it would, honestly, I think more than, it taking too long. There's a part of me that was worried that, I'm hoping that Legends never becomes a yearly thing. We do not need yearly Legends. Well, the funny thing about Gen 5 is just that's one of those... it's one of the things that drives my brother crazy, because I guess, he immediately latched on to 5, right? That's, his favorite gen and everything. And he'll talk about how people gave him shit for liking that. But now it's one of those things, it's like the hipster thing where it's like, oh, I always loved Gen 5. And he's like, no, you fucking you didn't. I know there's still some people that hate it, but I think they hate it more just because, the people who, like you said, really like it, won't shut up about it. So I think it wears on them, right?
So this is the power that you possess. The potential to advance.
Ay. But yeah. I have a similar thing, though, to Gen 5 with Majora's Mask, where, I don't think a lot of people really liked Majora's Mask when it came out, and yet now it's, one of the most popular Zeldas, or at least it was for a time. And it's the exact same thing with the GameCube. Again, maybe this is just because of the area I lived in. I talked about how, Pokemon didn't last too long where I live, and about how, Power Rangers weren't big. But I remember, when the GameCube came out, I was one of the few people in my grade level with it, and people would just be like, oh, man. You're so lame, you get the Nintendo console, that's for babies. We're playing Halo over here. And yet now there's so many people who's the GameCube is single-handedly the greatest console in all of existence. And I'm just like, where were you when I was getting made fun of in school by the same people who would insist that I bring my GameCube over to parties specifically so they could play Melee? And then, I also needed to make sure that I had 4 working GameCube controllers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, some things retroactively get very, very, very popular. Oh, yeah, I'll admit, I'm definitely guilty of not being, not being a huge Gen 5 supporter. But, in my defense at least, I will also not be one of those people who's like, oh yeah, I this thing that you very clearly remember me hating, I always loved it. I will admit that I definitely missed the bus with that, and I'm kind of disappointed that I did. Ay. Yeah, I live... Oh my gosh. Do I wanna... Maybe this will give you an idea. I live pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Things are changing up a bit now, but it used to be, it used to be very rural suburban, right? And I remember going to school with exactly one black kid my, like pretty much my entire career until I got to high school, right? So that is the sort of area that I lived in, which is probably very telling. Ay, ay, ay. Like, it's a lot more varied these days, but my gosh, that's, ay, ay, ay. Yes, no, no. Absolutely, absolutely would, yes. I visited New York, was it earlier this year or late last year? Aaron, you could probably tell me. The point is, no, I recently visited New York. It was fun. It was fun. I very much enjoyed it. Not sure if it's the sort of place that I'd be able to live or not. I'd like to think so, but, I'm definitely not going to get the whole, lived in experience over a period of like 2 or 3 days. Ay, ay, ay. And Gen 5 takes place in Fantasy New York, so it all comes together. Ay, ay. I will still give Gen 8 a lot of crap. I legitimately think that Gen 8 is the worst generation of Pokemon. I used to think, I used to give it to Gen 1, not because I dislike those games, just because, they didn't have so many of the modern conveniences we have now that it didn't age the best. But Gen 8, oh my gosh. Here, watch this, 30-second cutscene that just makes my Pokemon into a huge damage sponge. Oh, that sounds like fun. No, no. Stalling strategies, those are the best. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. Yeah, you did have a rough time of it now that you mention it. I do recall that. And yeah, it's much different, like we had a lot of people move in, I guess I can at least say the state. I live somewhere in Pennsylvania. And we got a lot of people that moved in from I think specifically Baltimore, which, brought, a lot more variety. I mean, one of my exactly two friends that I have is, he's from Baltimore. So yeah, no, I know firsthand that, we got a lot of immigration from there. Which, hey, I think that is probably for the best. Ay, ay, ay. Like, going to school with, oh, ay, just takes themselves way too seriously, like all the, ay. And I can't make fun of white people too much. I am too, but you know. It was a little boring at points. A little dull. But anyway, ay. I beat this game an hour and a half ago. Ay. So I might call it here, but ay. But no, just shooting the shit about. I did not see us talking about, autism, ADHD, and OCD for as long as we did. And I Mega Man channel, but really love Pokemon, so it was a lot of fun talking about that too. So yeah, I appreciate you folks sticking around. Let's see, what is the plan? I should probably announce the plan going forward. Cause let's see. End of the week, whatever the poll winner is. Probably gonna be Spark the Electric Jester. Next week, I don't know. Maybe, if I can get an emulator, I need, my brother to help me out with that. But he said he'd probably be able to help, walk me through it on Discord. But I would like to do some Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. So yeah, maybe I'll go with that. Maybe I'll do X-Dive. Maybe I'll bring the PSP back again. I don't know. But my quota is 1 Mega Man a week. Ay. Ay. Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. I feel like the autism thing is a lot of people will identify characters as that, but a lot of times they're not confirmed, if that makes sense. But you do bring up an interesting point. But yeah, I Spark the Electric Jester, something Mega Man next week, and I don't know what I'm gonna do next Friday. But funnily enough, the Friday after that, I'll probably do Sonic 3. I just want to put like a buffer of like 2 weeks between Sonic so that, I don't overindulge and I can drag out some of the, like space them out a bit more. So yeah, maybe I'll run another poll, but that'll do it for tonight. So yeah, thanks anybody who stopped in to watch. Thanks anybody who checks out the VOD. Appreciate you guys hanging around as long as you did. We beat the game frickin' twice and watched a short film. Dear Lord. That is a lot of ground. Yeah, for Legends, definitely want to do that at some point. But I think like the immediate future will be the extreme games, which there are only 2 of, so that won't take long. So I will take that under advisement. But yeah, that'll do it. I'm going to stop bullshitting ya and say good night. Good night and thanks again.